options right there. I'm Sharif, and we're gonna wait until YouTube decides when it's good and ready to send everybody over. But we've got a lot to talk about today. Shout out to the OG Darwin in the chat, Jack CW. How about Callum Mitchell Miller? Shout out to you, my man. We even have Joseph and Matthew Booth in the chat. Bears versus Dang Bulls. The world's greatest mod joining us as well. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to Kalu and Fiddleback. I'm starting to notice that certain people make it in earlier than others.
Yeah,
I'm starting to wonder if
Darwin is always
they get, priority from others that
VIP entrance there.
There we go. Easy Media. We got Tony Travels, Indeed Money, Adam Dang Deleuze. How about Diggity? We got Ozan China. He's already yelling China. We got Jacques, Freddy 5000, Hytham, Ticker Checker, Chucky, Lo-Fi Soul. How about Indeed Money? Like this over here. Mr. Ducts. Okay. Shout out to Showtime. Shout out to Stevenson. Mad Word 1. We got Mesla, Vern, Bert. We got Cass. We got Harold. Vizbot as well. Raul. Joseph Wahar. Stock Up. Kurt D. Mr. Ian. And Young Talent the Great. I like that one. That was good. Bert Lee. Ryan Lindquist on the blockchain. What's up? What's up? What's up? Abdulaziz Ismatov. Hans Beer. Sirens Industry like this. Redo Stocks. We got Alan Blumener. I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Bob S. MMG. Giovanni. We got Osama. And one more here is Joseph. Michael Sparada.
There it is, baby. Cooking it up, guys. I mean, hey, I'm going to just point one thing out on NVDA, and we've been talking about it for the past couple of days anyways, before leading up to the earnings report. And that was that put and call wall right at 140. We put it high in around 136, and that's as high as the market was going to allow it to push. There's just too much size there, in my opinion, in order for it to break through. You're going to need a big player to step in. But one thing is to look forward to is that all those contracts expire on Friday. So let's see what happens with that. Is that going to cause it to shoot higher? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. But notionally, it's quite a bit, and there's over about like 18 point something million shares right at that, potential shares, I should say, right at that 140 strike price. So I think that has a lot to do with why we couldn't push through. I heard Sean talking about the expected move being a little lackluster, and absolutely, I agree with him. When you price in something around 9% or something along those lines, and then now you're negative on the session, going to the downside after this report, then it is what it is. But I mentioned time and time again, now we're pushing lower and lower in this name. The real question is, how low can we go? And I think this market is going to see a lot more red days to come. That's just my opinion, but we're going to find out and see 140, that put and call wall. Sharif, I know you're going to want to cover something before we hop into the lesson. What do you got going on?
Here's what we got, Joseph. This is obviously the small cap gapper side charts over here, but there's one notable one here, Joseph, that's really breaking out right now. And this is the big boy on the market. It's up 193%. Let's talk about this one. ESGL. Into $3, $3 high a day. This thing is a dang rocket ship right now, so it behooves us to find out a little bit more about it. What's the deal with this one? Okay, 20 million share float, says Trade Ideas, and a bupkis short float, 0.04. I haven't seen one so small. So ESGL seems to have no shorts involved in it at all. Now, again, as we always say, this could be 2 weeks old, the data that is for the shorts. So really interesting here, ESGL. Keeping that in focus. We also got HIMS, as Joseph was talking about there. We got LTBR into the highs. This one's only about 19.25%, seeming to have trouble with 12. That's on the top right corner of your screen. And then the one that I like, second best after ESGL, ARIS. Shout out to all the Aries out there. I know that's you, BPI. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, homie. Get it, Daryl. 3160. That's 3158, excuse me. That is the high a day on ARIS. Let's do a little bit of a deep dive. I know Joseph's got a lesson, but I just want to let everyone know ARIS has a short float of 7.5 million and about 27.5 million share float, so not a bad look there. Root in focus as well. At Riley, we saw the Katina Man kill this one in the morning. And last but not least, LMND, Lemonade, is making what we call big boy moves here into the highs. It's up 15.5%. It just printed the high, 36.40. This one's been insanely respectful of the 10 exponential moving average on the 5. Those are going to be the main ones. ESGL, ARIS, and LMND. We're going to keep the others on the side chart, Joseph.
Yes,
but
sir.
We'll find out exactly if they can hang on.
See if they can hang or not. Mad World, yeah, same, my friend. I added my average is now bumped up. It's unfortunate of the way it went here. So we're going to have to assess. We have some stops in place, but let's see what Adair's up to.
Keep an eye here in Taboola, TBLA. This is actually a day 2 earnings move, but also we just got a little bit of volume here. There's an article that was published yesterday by Business Insider saying that the company is targeting a $55 billion opportunity through its new ad platform. Now, this, again, came out yesterday, but it was just being circulated right now again on social media. So as it recirculates, some traders entering the name with that volume push to the upside for TBLA. That is Taboola, guys. Again, day 2 earnings play and new recycled catalyst online. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Adair, for that one, guys. Yeah, let's dive right into this because I think there's a lot to talk about with the markets and stuff today. So I want to talk about just constructing a trading playbook and just being all around consistent, right? I don't know if any of you guys seen that one interview with Shea Gilchrist-Alexander, and the reporter's just like, why are you so good at what you do? And he's just like, I'm just consistent with my life. So a bunch of aura points right there for Shea there, guys. All right, let's get right into this. Pre-market preparation, trade criteria, and data collection, all right? So let's see, creating a day trading playbook is like crafting your own personalized roadmap to navigate the financial markets. Numerous of successful traders credit their success to hard work and a defined trading playbook, all right? Pre-market preparation, detailed trading criteria, and consistent data collection are key criteria to the success of numerous amounts of traders. So, pre-market preparation, I think this is extremely important. Starting your trading day the right way is going to be a key factor in your session success. Proper and consistent preparation is very much important. If you think that you're going to be able to roll out of bed at 9:25, turn on the computer, and then go against traders like Sean, Sharif, and all those guys, and then I wish you the best of luck, but that's just not the reality of this game, all right? Checking daily news, sentiment on social media, as well as what is in the equities market seems to be catching the public's eye. That's why we run scanners. That's why we go through the news. That's why in the morning show, they say, hey, this is what is possibly trending. This is what's popular on social media, and et cetera, all right? Keep an eye on upgrades, downgrades, and headlines. We have exactly that here in the morning, and that's what you want to see. That could affect an individual stock and even the broader market. Check daily macroeconomic data points, earnings, and earnings during and out of season, okay? So every morning we get those CPI, we get the pending home sales, GDP, etc. here in the morning, and you want to keep an eye out on those because you may have the question, well, why is the market moving? Did you do your due diligence? Did you check to see if there's any catalyst in the underlying? Is there a catalyst in the broader market? Is there any macro news? And it's your job to do so, all right? And this is going to help just add to the success, whether it be 1%, right? The goal is to get 1% better. So if you can do something to put you in the direction of being profitable, then you may as well take those steps, all right? Here we go. This week's major economic reports here. So this is just an example here, guys. This was taken from last year, about a month or so ago now. And this is just what you want to put. You can get a whole list of it right here of what's happening that week. And then it's your job to document that and put it into your own journals and say, hey, okay, well, on this day, I traded really well. What was leading to me? What led me to trading really well that session? Okay, well, we had initial jobless claims that came in strong. We had X amount of catalysts here on this stock, and then the broader market was trading higher. So we have those influential catalysts in the markets, all right? So trade criteria. Trade criteria and stock selection are key factors in consistent trading success. Being in the right stock with your trading parameters will help increase day-to-day success. Now, as you get more familiar and you gain more experience, you're going to realize when your setup is there, right? You're going to run your scans in the morning and be like, hey, this isn't necessarily setting up how I want. You have a group of stocks, you narrow that down to about 3 or 4, even 2 or 3 stocks, and you hyper-focus on those, okay? Stock screeners are a great trading tool that allow you to filter through the market and find in-play stocks that fit your playbook's trading metrics, all right? Analyze current technical level, mark out key support and resistance levels for your in-play stocks. Establish potential trade scenarios, breakups, breakdowns, reversals, and continuations. Okay, so now this is basic. Sharif has his small cap gapper filter. It's very simple. It's something, anything over $1, I believe.
Basically.
And then a lot of volume here. He wants to see that volume, and that's mine. My price filter is anything over $13 and anything below $1,000, and I want to see anything with over 900,000 shares traded up to an infinite amount. The more shares, the better, all right, for that criteria. And then we have all the exchange. It's that simple. This is exactly what I want. When I run this scan, it gives me that list every morning. It's as simple as hitting the scan button, and then it's going to give you those stocks. It's going to filter out all of the 500 from the S&P and whatever it may be, and then narrow it down to a couple of them, all right? So here we go. Collecting data. Numerous points of data can be collected for your specific day trading system and investing criteria. Select and collect key points that best fit your system. Categorize your entries. 9:30 to 11 a.m. market open executions. 11 to 2 midday analysis. 2 to 4 power hour and closing session. Ranking weight of catalysts, upgrades and downgrades, macro data, news headlines, mergers and acquisitions, and earnings. I think earnings is one of the highest levels of catalysts, all right? Risk per trade, collect data on your risk units per trade. This can help you scale trades and setups you're more efficient in, and reduce risk and trade setups you're less accurate on. Okay, it may sound simple, but it's slightly more complicated. But the more you have the ability to simplify things, I think the better off you are. You can make trading as complicated as you would like, but you can also simplify it as well too. Okay, guys. So here we go. Journal as well as collect screenshots after each trade. Obi does this. I do this. A lot of people in the on the floor do that. Document your psychology before, after, and during trades. Analyze how you managed each position. Document accuracy with short and long positions as well too. So that's something that you want. Now this is just the simple criteria. This is exactly what we're looking at here when we create the Playmaker poll. This is just the criteria. It's simple. It's not overly complicated. We want to know what time we're getting in, how many shares, whether we're going long or short, time of day, the time we exited, and just the simplistic stuff. So the trade number, the stock, the pre-market volume, the strategy, the time in, what time of session it was, time out, the result from a risk to reward standpoint, the shares, catalyst, level of catalyst, and then of course the date. So tricks of the trade. Define your goals. Develop a repeatable system. I think that's something that's extremely important. Make sure you can construct something that is repeatable, something that you can do on a day-to-day basis. That doesn't mean it's going to work all the time, all right? Successful trading playbooks require structure, discipline, and data-driven decision-making. Consistently analyze what you're good at and dissect the key metrics that provide the success, okay? Always manage risk accordingly and do not take outsized losses, all right, folks? And that is that one for the trading playbook. If you guys want this, if you guys just want this slide here, feel free to DM me on Twitter or X, sorry guys, and I'll send this over to you. Oscarito was asking me for this. I sent it to him. So if you guys just want something to track basic criteria, you know what to do. DM your guy there on X. Let's see what Adair's up to.
Keep an eye on Amazon here. I'm seeing some comments coming through. Andy Jassy, CEO of AMZN, said there's not enough chips and power to meet AI demand. So this actually echoes comments he made yesterday as well when the company unveiled their new generative AI efforts, including its new Alexa. Basically, Andy Jassy at the time said that we have a lot of demand, but we're really unable to meet it at this time. He's actually saying that there's not enough chips and power to be able to meet this demand in the first place. So more interesting AI comments from Andy Jassy, CEO of AMZN. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adira. Look, guys, the Katina Man's basically involved in a monster right now. He's in Amazon and he's in NVIDIA at 126. So we're going to hit the, you know what we're going to hit, man. Sorry.
That's going to be us tomorrow, man.
Why, Joseph? What's going to happen
I don't know, man. You know what's funny? When you and Obi started the show yesterday, you're like, yo, what are we doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
And Obi's like, I don't know, what are we doing tomorrow?
You saw that, huh?
I was actually like, I don't know, what are we doing tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for this whatsoever. I just came off a hiatus in Jamaica.
Yeah. You need a bit of a break. You need a little bit of a detox here,
yeah, so it's going to be a tough one, though, my guy. What do you got cooking up?
Okay, we did real well well here on VLCN. We punched in 114, just took it out there at 131. VLCN, Ram. It's on one right now. Is that her? Yeah, it is her. 40% and going. It is a dollar name right now, but it is on one. It's got a good aggressive move up. Shout out to Bovin, man. Bovin, you're the one that called this out, my man. I didn't have eyes on this one. Shout out to you. It's topping right here. Get it, Adara. Thank you, Adira. I do appreciate you there. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. Bhavin Dang Patel, sir, you're responsible for this trade here. Let me know what you're looking at there, Bhavin, because I'm looking at punching back in because the momentum's still going. A new high of day of $1.36, and something tells me that $1.37 is coming in soon. There it is. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one, guys. VLC.
Whoa. You're in a face slapper there. I don't know
about that, bro. You know how I am, man. We don't take big positions on the show, but we look to execute for the people here to give them the right ideas. That's just kind of the deal. Yeah. Bring them up here. Thank you, Brenkles.
You got a shirt too, my guy?
Oh, the Katina. He got it. Katina, man, show the people. The People's Trader gonna show them the People's T-shirt, baby.
What did you get, man?
We're going to find out right now. So what we're talking about right now, guys, we all got different T-shirts for Obi's grad party. We talked about this yesterday. Bring in the Katina Man. There he is. What do we got? No, that's the wrong way, Katina Man. Yeah.
It's the wrong way.
Ooh, me like.
All right.
I like that.
Top there.
All right, where's ours?
All right, hey,
what do we got?
Go.
This one's mine.
Let's see. Thanks, my guy Branks. Hey, my guy Branks is coming back from a little trip, too. Let's go. Let's see what we got going on, guys.
Of course you got that. Of course you got that.
All right, let's see.
I like it.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go. FTX,
all right. Risk
management department, aka doesn't exist. They don't exist. To the moon.
To the moon. Let's go.
Yo, I ordered a large,
Get in here,
bro.
Katina, man. Put it on there, my guy.
I ordered a large, Joseph.
What do you got there?
I don't know, man. This thing's not going to fit as a large. I was going to get a medium, too. Breckles is like, don't do it, dude.
I had to get the small.
We're going to get it right there, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, that's what it is. It's an Alibaba large. It says Ram.
It's a Temu. It's a Temu large.
Check out Let's go. I love this. Katina Man, who do you want to win?
Who do you want to win, man?
No, Katina Man. Don't point at the red guy. Come on now. There we go, baby. All right,
so we're going polar opposite. We're going to the Earth.
I like that a lot,
dude. Yeah, man.
I guarantee you they didn't pay nothing for. Well, you can't trademark the Bitcoin thing, right? Like that's,
I don't know, probably not.
Public domain.
Yeah, right? Maybe. Yeah, it's public domain. There you go.
All right.
So here we go.
It smells
guys.
like it just came out of the factory.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's corrosive,
fresh, man. So
it's corrosive right now.
It's a nice new gym shirt there. So that's what we got going on there, guys.
Yes, sir. So very happy for Obi. Clearly, it's very, very delayed.
Very delayed.
It's been almost like a year since
we got
it, right?
So we got a lot to make up for, I guess. There.
We're very pumped. Obviously,
is that Wayner in the back there? No.
I don't know.
It's Branks.
It's Brankles, yeah.
Still Branks. Let's see if we can get NVIDIA to get rolling the ball here, guys. It's rolling. Katina Man's in off those bottoms.
He's in a two-banger right now.
Yeah, he's in a hot dog cannon. He's in another face slapper there. I got 3 swings going on right now, guys. I told you guys Walmart, NVDA, and Amazon. And I was going to get out of Amazon at 220, but I didn't catch any fills. It was too quick. It just tapped into it and then sold off 5 points. And then that's why your boy had to go for a quick walk because I'm like, I'm like, we got to chill here. But I mean, hey, guys, it is what it is, right? We're not going to get too worried about it. I do want to talk about the overall market and just where we stand at from a daily perspective, because I think it's really, really important. And the kind of the choppy range that we've been sitting in here. We'll go to Adair in 1 second. I just want to finish this point here. But here we go. We have some key support levels that we need to keep an eye on. And then here we have some double top price type price action. If we breach 589, I think it might get a little bit uglier than what it seems to be. And you also have to take into consideration that we're only down about 4% on from those all-time highs. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but let's see what Adair's up to.
On Amazon, Andy Jassy, CEO, keeps talking here about AI, and he is making some interesting comments. He's saying that he has spoken to President Trump. He also said here that chip export curbs could cede businesses to other nations. So basically, if America is forced to keep curbing these chip exports, other countries could step in. So kind of a cautious look here with regards to these chip exports. We know Microsoft earlier today basically issued a letter of communication here with the administration saying that they really need to be careful what they do here with these chip exports, how it can impact other countries. So AMZN here on watch with more AI-related comments from Andy Jassy for the second day in a row, guys. Back to you.
The people want to see your T-shirt.
They want to see a T-shirt, man.
Yeah, where's your? Well, we all showed ours.
Yeah, come bring it up.
She's bringing it. All right, she's coming in.
Everybody's got one now.
Continue your thought while she gets her started.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry. We speak one at a time here. We don't want to get too carried away. We got to listen to the production.
Yeah, man. She's
boss down
she's
there,
very assertive these days. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I've noticed it.
I really like that.
That's okay, Lily.
Oh,
there we go.
What a shock. What a shock. Why isn't there a GLP-1, like a needle or something on there? Like, what the hell?
So funny. So they asked, like, what feature do you want? And Frankel's and Obi had already pulled up Lily. And
Woman, you need a dollar sign or something to vote to show that that's a ticker. People are going to...
I like it. Thank you,
Brenkles, you need to be more creative, brother. Like, how are we supposed to tell that that's Eli Lilly? I mean, unless you're trading, you don't know that that's...
we like it. We like it.
I did a building near my house last week, so this is a sign.
So there's the sign.
I love it. I love it. Get it, Adara. We're happy.
It's a sign, guys. Yeah, she got the only colored one.
People want to know why you got red, Adara.
Yeah, exactly.
People are really upset in the chat.
It's the color of Lily.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
It's a bad omen.
It is what it is. Okay, but yeah, here we go, guys. Just going back to the overall market and the broader, you can see that we've been trading in this range, not looking overly pretty. It's not good, but if we break through these key support levels, I think there's going to be some more downside, and then I think the next target's going to be around this 574 level, which I do think is going to come into play because we have been on a 2-year plus bull market, and then when you see this indecisiveness and the consolidation that's essentially been going on since November, and a lot of like, hey, ups and downs, and some ugly days. So I don't want to call that say that there's any specific headwinds, but you know that those tariffs are coming into play very soon. So we got to keep an eye on these levels, Shreve. And then if we break them, I think we're going to go and touch some more ones to the downside, my guy.
Absolutely, my man. I think that is sadly the case, but you're just going to have to deal with that and be strategic about where you add, and don't be so emotional about things. I know it's money. I get that. It's money. But if you get emotional about it, you make emotional decisions, emotionally charged decisions. Those are not the best decisions, nor is it the best state of mind to make these decisions. Case in point, I was fed up. No, I want to talk about this. I was fed up with my pan dub trade, right? I got out of pan dub at 203-ish, and then I got back in at 191. Why? Because I made an emotional decision to get out of pan dub, despite the fact that the best days, in my humble opinion, are still ahead of it. So I just want to make that point. When I make decisions and they're emotional, they're almost always wrong. When I make them in a clear mindset and when I'm not emotionally charged, they're not almost always right, but the hit rate is way higher. So I definitely want to send a message out to everybody there. Go ahead, Katina, man.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, like, yeah. I was definitely
Katina is killing me, bro.
Man, I was giddy this morning, adding into NVIDIA around the 133 area in the when I was at home this morning. Sorry, and then we had that Amazon swing, and then it's like, okay, in a matter of seconds, it's all gone. So it's like, so you got to go for a walk, drink a muscle milk, grab
I haven't had one of those in a minute.
Yeah, grab a Farm Boy buffalo chicken wrap, and just come back and get some fresh air. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, you know.
Sorry, guys. I like to have fun, man. You know what? Whatever, man.
Yeah, 1 pound fish. I love that video. 1 pound fish. Anybody,
I don't know about that one.
You never seen that one?
No, I haven't.
It's hilarious. The guy's song. Who said that? Jack CW. Yeah, I love that song. 1 pound fish. Everybody.
Ram.
1 pound fish.
Have you?
All right, no,
whatever.
That's it, man.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Ram. Have you seen that viral TikTok video? The Jamaican guy that said, "Rich, millionaire." Did you see that? You know about that one? Yay, Ram. Yeah, that was hilarious. All right, do you get a cookie? I don't know. There's cookies in the back, girl.
No.
You have a lot in the fridge, don't you? There, I visit some of them, Ram, sometimes. Sorry.
No. Time out. Whose Kit Kat bar is in the fridge?
That's hers.
Yeah, it's not safe. I would not.
It's not safe.
I would not
She leaves
leave
her
that
stuff
in there. Yeah, do not leave that in there much longer because it is not safe, okay?
Oh, man. What's going on over there?
Yeah, what's going on over there,
I thought that you were the one that hit that. Okay. All right, guys. I just got stopped out of a position over here on ESLG. This one, it didn't hold up. It didn't hold up at the right level. We're negatory on this one now. I was trying to get it off the 10 exponential. It wasn't having me. So we end up getting stopped out of that one. And the one that we were in initially, VLCN, holy cow. I was setting up to go long at that $1.16, which is where VWAP is at. Look at this. V-shaped retracement. So I'm a little concerned right now with the strength or lack thereof of these small cap gappers. So we're going to keep an eye out on that one. Let's bring in the side charts, though. Let's wax a little poetic, to use an Adara term, about some of these small cap gappers. So Root, very expensive. It's a $135 stock, but it's on one right now. It's up 37.5%, a little bit more. So you're going to have to obviously ante up, as well as practice sound risk management strategies with Root, R-O-O-T. It's LMND that's on a dang rocket ship right now. Guys, this thing hasn't even touched the 10 exponential moving average since 10:30. So it's better part of an hour now, Joseph, where this one has not touched the 10. It's very directional, very strong, but it is getting a little extended. I might be picking this bad boy up off 37 on a pullback. It's up 20 and a third percent. HIMS as well. I want to shout out Neil, because Neil had a banger in HIMS. He had over $1 club there for the flat top breakout. So shout out to Neil Dang Roberts for taking that bad boy. But it's coming down into 45. It's an area that I like it because of the 10 exponential. It's shown its respect for the 10 on the day already. So you're going to have to ante up a little bit more here if you're a small cap gapper trader, because it's $45 plus, but it's setting up well. So let's go ahead and load up HIMS. Oh, here, it's already here on the chart. So where am I wrong here? If we give up the ghost at the 10 exponential, by extension of that 45. I perceive us to have another price action support right at this area here at 44.75. So let's go ahead, let's weasel our way in. We're going to get in a small amount here, and then I'll be looking at DCA. I'm planning my dollar cost averages here. So I like that 2/3 to 3/4 of a dollar level. So I'm going to sit at both levels, okay? So I'm going to sit at 76s, and then I'll also sit at 65s. For a dip trade there. Oh, wow, it just popped up, okay, and then drop right back down. So we'll have an opportunity to DCA, but I'm going to put orders as well. Let's sit on the north side of 45. If it wants to pop off and move up, I'll pick it up there. I think I'm wrong through the $0.50. 44.5, I'm out. That's the 20 exponential. It's also a breach of this area price action support right here, this area crest. So if it breaks through there, I'm out. I'll be taking it out through there. So let's go ahead and throw the stop. So we're going to have that. So that'll mean that we have that many shares. So we're going to go ahead and wait over here. So we're going to just like that, and then we're going to change it there. So it's already zigging and zagging right now. We'll see if HIMS wants to hold up generally in this area. Yeah, what else am I looking at? LTBR. Fantastic look here for LTBR. It's not the biggest percentage winner on the day. It's 16 and change. But here's the deal. It just came in to that VWAP area, and then it got bought up like a storm, 11:30, and now it's popping off right back into 11:50. It spent like literally no time at the VWAP area. So I hope you had resting orders, as I always advocate for, at the level that you want to get in and take profits at. So that's a look right now. We're involved in HIMS. I'm looking at DCAing into this monster if it'll allow me. And then I'm going to take everything out if it breaks through that 40 penny area. I'm looking for it to hold at price action support, Joseph. Otherwise, want no smoke. What do you got on your side, my man?
Yeah, for sure. We got a couple people in the chat asking me to take a look at APLD for them, and we'll do exactly that because that's what we like to do. All right, guys. So you know what I'm going to point out here, right? And hopefully I don't have to say it, but I'm going to point it out anyways. Just be wary of these types of signals, and sure enough, as you break it to the downside, you're going to get that continuation. We have key levels of support right here, so you want to keep an eye out on those as well, too, guys. So APLD AAPLD, from a technical standpoint, it's just moving sideways like the rest of the market. I think it's time to go maybe a little bit neutral and just relax. And there's some things that I'm going to talk about next week, and that's Gamma, because I really started to take a dive into it to see like, hey, okay, what's going on with it? Because there's more underneath the hood there with Gamma. So I'm looking forward to that. So check in Tuesday morning when we do some options talk, and then in the afternoon as well too. We're going to do a kind of a thorough lesson on Gamma and just get really into that. So here we go, moving sideways. I don't love it from a technical standpoint. Let's zoom out a little bit here. And this isn't something I would necessarily want to be involved in for the long term, all right? So just ask yourself, are you willing to withstand this? Do they offer a dividend, etc.? And is it going to break out? You need to wait for that specific catalyst in order for this thing to continue to move higher. That volume is starting to pick up a little bit here as well too. But as of right now, not something I'm going to be looking to buy. I like Sharif. I like how you mentioned earlier, is like just be careful of allocating right now, just because of the overall market sentiment, right? It's good to buy when there's blood in the streets, and I think that's what a lot of individuals do. You get a really good price, but if there's potentially more downside, you got to be really patient and wait for those turnaround signals. But as for this one, NVDA, it's unfortunate that we traded as high as 136 in the pre-market or just below it. But time and time again, and I'm probably going to talk a lot about it throughout the day, is just that put wall. And I showed you guys before via a different screenshot. And you can see that when you have such large amounts of open interest on the put and on the call side, that can cause some options pinning. And I think that's been the case here in NVIDIA. That's why we have had the inability to breach higher. With this such a phenomenal report as well too, we know that growth is slightly slowing, but the numbers are still fantastic. If you look at everything from a year-over-year basis, everything's like 90% up, 80%, 75%. It's like, I'm like, yo, how much more can they like continue to win on this? As I was reading the report last night, and it's like, okay, why aren't we trading north of 140? Why isn't this thing continuing to appreciate? And I think a lot of it has to do with that open interest on the options chain, on the call and the put side there, Sharif.
Yes, sir. Okay, we're involved in HIMS here at 56. It's showing me 04s. So give or take, we're about 50 pennies in the money. But look, I had to de-risk. So when it came down, I got out of a portion. So full disclosure, we're negatory on it right now, but we'll look to do a little bit better. I'm also keeping my eye on LTBR. It's coming into the volume weighted average price, the area that I've been waiting. But this is a sustained down move here on LTBR. So I am concerned that, you know, just because it's coming into VWAP, it may not mean a whole lot, right? Because that area is a little concerning to me at the moment. 1130 or so on LTBR. Now, look, the deal is the volume's a little, I don't know about this. It's less than 2.5 million shares, 2.44. Yeah, the spread is kind of wide on it, 12 pennies on an $11 name. I don't know how I feel about that. 1136 on the bid, 1148 on the ask. It's not my favorite, not going to lie. So I'm going to steer clear of that one for the moment. But I see Riley is breaking through the volume weighted average price. What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man is long Riley at 640. Great entry, bro. $7 just broke on Riley, and it took the volume weighted average price. It's up big, 23.4% on the day. So we're going to keep an eye out for Riley. HIM's coming right back down into 75, so couldn't clear the $45 area. And I'm going to take this opportunity to add some here. Exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to wait at 60s. If it will allow me in at 60, fantastic. If it won't, it won't. That's a look there. So LTBR in focus, as well as Lemonade, man. Lemonade is a dang rocket ship right now, but it is putting in the first red candle since this candle over here at 10:30. I mean, there was this candle of indecision at 10:45, but it closes a doji candle. So I don't want to, you know, I'm not marking that as a red candle. It was a candle of indecision. So HIM's in focus is the one I'm in right now. Basically, we're 50 pennies on the money, and now we're about 14 pennies in the money. Quick as that, it comes right back down. I mentioned Root. I mentioned ARIS. They're not to my liking at the moment, so I'm going to steer clear of them and have a look at the top screen over here to see if there's any new small cap gappers making their way onto the scene. There was this one BCG, but it's given up the ghost. It's breaking down below VWAP. Peppa Pig is back today. PEPG. It's also at the volume weighted average price. Let's have a look at Peppa Pig. And it's not called Peppa Pig, guys. I was just, you know, I don't know.
Why not, man?
It's not Katina Man, but it'd be nice if it was. 180 over here. It's trading at VWAP, my man. PEPG, it's up 20.25%. It's not a bad look, certainly. But yeah, the volume on it is quite bupkis. It's $1.84. It's done 1 million shares. I mean, it's just not cutting it for me. So I'll steer clear of that one. But if it sets up in a bit of a better way, I will get back in. ESLG is the one that we went negatory on. Show yourself, ESLG. Where are you? Okay, I might have gotten rid of it, which is fine. Is it this one over here? No, that's Riley. Hims. Is it this one? No. All right, allow me a second. Yeah, there it is. ESLG just found support at $2. This is an area where it previously had support. So here's what I'm going to do. No, I'm not breaking my rules here. I'm not going to take this long south of the volume weighted average price. I just won't do it. Every time I break my rules, I end up paying for it, so I won't do it. But it looks good over here at $2. I mean, if I wasn't trying to stick to my rules so stringently, I'd be getting long. All right, HIMS back above 45 right now. Sadly, it didn't fill me at 60s where I was trying to get more in, so that resting order went unfilled. It's having trouble with 45 here, boys and girls, because it's coming into that level and rejecting. A little above on the ask, a little below on the bid. Let's see if it can catch a bit of a move up here. I'm waiting at 25s. 45, 25, that would be about a 75 penny banger. If we can get the fill, underline that, if we can get the fill. We don't got it right now. What's going on over there, Katina, man? It popped up again, didn't it? Oh, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, well, the Katina Man's in Riley today, guys, and it's a small cap kind of day today on the floor of Trader TV Live. We got ESGL going, we got Riley going, we got Hims going. It's not technically a small cap gapper. Well, you know, it's an honorary small cap gapper. We'll call it that. Continuing to watch ESGL Joseph as it defends that $2 area. Shout out to Rohit defending $2. That's what I see, my man. I see that as well. It's just the problem, Rohit, is every time I take these bad boys long, south of VWAP or below the pre-market high, I end up paying through the nose for it. And I don't want to pay through the nose for anything today. So we're going to pack our patience. Joseph Wilson.
Yes, sir. Okay, yeah, guys, we're in this NVDA trade here. We're going to hope it can start cooking. We sold off quite drastically, down 3%. I think that this was like, if I show you guys my notes, it was the one stock I was looking at this morning. And it's unfortunate that it didn't really play out how I wanted to, but that's okay. There'll always be another opportunity. So this is going to be the third quarter in a row that it has not exceeded its expected move. So you just got to keep that in mind. I'm not saying that's going to be the case every time. Eventually it will, but just not today or yesterday. Sorry, guys. So this is what we got cooking up on NVDA. We got Mara short going on as well, too, guys, because I believe that this name is going to just track Bitcoin. And I'm hearing in the chat that Bitcoin's going to the south side. We are still positive, up about 10.5%, a little bit more than that. 10 3/4, but I think we're going to continue to move lower. You can look at this thing from a daily perspective and just be like, hey, yeah, this mining space is almost uninvestable. This is tough stuff here to sit through all of this. I know we break out once in a while, but unless you're positioned really well, if you're positioning in this $20, this is a headache to sit in. And for me, it's just I don't want any part of this here because it's just like up and down. One day your account's up, the next day it's down, and so on and so on. So that's just a lot of capital expenditure right there. But what we want to look at here is Walmart. My guy over here, Walmart, you know that I told you guys I have 3 current swings on. That is going to be NVDA, Walmart, and Amazon. And this is working out really well. And this is essentially the exact same playbook here as the Amazon trade. And this one's just working out slightly better. My entry's not as good, but that's okay. I do think that we're going to enter this gap, and I'm going to look for it to go into about 100. 101 is going to be my final target on this out. Sharif and I were talking about it earlier and saying, yeah, this is a long-term play, and I agree with him. But I'm also swinging it here just for the short duration because I think we can get a pop in this name because look at the primary trend. Costco is still absolutely killing it, and there might be a little bit of a sector rotation here. So that I'm going to stick to this thesis until otherwise. 101, we're at a dodge on that, and then that trade would have worked out really, really nice for us. So that's what we're going to hold on to, guys. But let's see what Morrow's up to right now. Hopefully we can break down. I like this entry somewhat here. If we break this high of 14, then I'm just going to get out of dodge on this one, and then maybe we'll be able to take the additional leg down. We have a double bottom right here, which is something to keep an eye out on. But if we break lower, then I think you're going to see around that 1250, and you're going to give up the majority of this gain here. So yeah, we're going to hold on to this, and we're going to hold on to this NVIDIA long. But you guys, we got to go over to the big desk with Adara.
Keep an eye here in AXTI. I might have a new small cap contender for you, Sharif. This one just started moving here. Only about 1.5 million shares traded so far in the day. No catalyst on AXTI. It's about $1.60 right now. This ticker up about 21%. 1% short float, so insignificant. $71 million market cap, 40 million share float for AXTI. So, Sharif, this one might be on your radar. This one might have a chance to get it here. Popping up on volume. Wanted to let you guys know about new small cap runner. Also, to let you guys know, if you did not realize, I am running this TTV research account on X, through which we publish some fun infographics. AppLovin has had just a wild time, so this graphic is in honor of AppLovin's wild moves. We had this great push to all-time highs. We actually just made new all-time highs less than 2 weeks ago. Now we've dropped even lower. This thing got 3 short reports in the last week, and it was added to the NASDAQ, but then dropped significantly after failing to be added to the S&P 500. So wild times. Check this out on X at TTV Research. Try to post infographics. We post multiple every day, so just make sure you're checking that out. Back to you.
Thank you for calling out AXTI. It's a little light on volume right now, but it's got a fantastic looking pattern. It's about 1.3 million shares, but Adair already mentioned that. She said it was light on volume. So we're going to keep that on the side chart, and if it's tradable, we will definitely get into that. But Joseph, I'm looking, somebody was asking me, he's like, hey, you were calling out VLCN, talk about it. Well, I was involved in it here up into that $1.30, but as you can see, all hell broke loose to the downside. So now VLCN is below VWAP, it's below the 10, it's below everything. The pre-market high, the whole shebang. Now it's doing, it's fighting for its life here above $1. A little below $1, a little above $1. I'm not trading this because it's below VWAP at $1.15, nor do I like this flat bottom look that is break here that it's manifesting into with lower highs and that dollar area acting as a flat bottom. So this isn't for me at the moment. Going to steer clear of this one, but definitely interested in LMND and HIMS. Let's show the HIMS trade. So I got out of some trouble here. We took a nice little winner on this one, about 75 pennies, but it's still putting in lower highs. I got out of half the position here. That was incorrect. I got out there because of this area support here, but it was, it pushed me out another 20 pennies. That was 40. I had my stop at 38s or something like that. This one pushed below 20. So it looks like they were stop hunting there, and I got caught up in that hunt. So I guess I'm the prey today. But in any event, let's load up LMND and see if we can extract some profitability and maybe a trade or two on this. What is this? New York, right? Yeah, Lemonade's New York. Okay. So I'm displeased right away with the spread, but that's going to be kind of characteristic of this name. 10 penny spread immediately. It's coming into the 10 exponential. 37.25 is the 10 exponential right now. I want to see if it bounces here. If it doesn't hold up at the 10 exponential, I'm more inclined to take this short as an initial move into VWAP or the 20 exponential. If it does bounce off the 10 exponential, then I might be taking it long here. So I'm packing my patience. I don't have to trade this one like a small cap gapper because it's not, right? So it doesn't have the same characteristics, so it would behoove me to trade it in its own unique way. It's a $2.66 billion market cap, having done about 3.75 million shares traded on the day with about 51 million share float. Let's find out what the short float is. LMND. It's very big. About 32.6% of Lemonade's 50 some odd million shares are borrowed for shorts, as we always do. Let's caveat that information by saying it could be up to 2 weeks old. So make of that what you will. We're just here to give you the information. You got to execute. So I'm keeping my eye on this bad boy. It's coming into that 10 awfully quickly. And if it gives up the 10, I'm looking short initially, Joseph, but I will be looking long, possibly at VWAP. What do you got over there, my man?
Yeah, I'm cooking up on the same stuff here, man. I'm waiting for this Mara to slowly break down. It may take a couple of tries, and that's okay. But one thing I want to point out is that if we start constructing these lower highs here, then I think I'm going to be in a good space. So if we have the inability to break this top right at 14 and we construct a lower high, then I think we're good for this short to kind of manifest and come into fruition here. So we'll hold off onto this. If we break this 1370, then I'm going to look for that next target around 13.5, and then the next target is going to be around 13.3. I think that this name can give up the majority of its gain that I put in. Sharif was saying something good about the numbers. I haven't quite read into the report yet, but I will do so later on today. I believe I'm going to, because there's a couple of things. It was good, yeah. It's bangers. You know what I mean? So, like, what does that mean for the Bitcoin space? And I'm pretty sure they've had half decent reports before, but it just can't get the ball rolling on this thing because of Bitcoin and just the cost of mining. So we'll dive a little bit more deeper into that because we'll talk about it tomorrow as well too. Because I know Bitcoin mining and Bitcoin is really big here in the chat. So we want to make sure we can provide you guys with as much information as possible. But yeah, that's going on with Mara here, and then we have NVDA as well too. We're hoping that this thing can get the ball rolling. If we can go back into the volume weighted average price, that will be absolutely fantastic. But as of right now, this consolidation phase is not looking overly promising. As you can see here, guys, we are constructing lower highs, so we have to be weary of that. Even though this is a higher low as well too, I just believe that the opening drive and the overall sentiment in this name is just too weak for it to just absolutely go parabolic to the top side, especially with that put and call wall there at 140. I'm going to talk about that a lot because I love how that really came into play. And then watching it last night, because I watched it until about 7:30, 8 o'clock last night. I'm like, okay, if we're going to get the ball rolling on Jensen's conference call at 7 p.m., then I think that we can push through that. But it just hasn't been the case. There's too many shares. There's too much liquidity up at that levels. 2NY had a very valid point, and I mentioned it as well too. We need to wait until this Friday's expiration. Tomorrow in NVDA earnings play day 2, I guess we can classify it as. I think it's going to be an absolute monster one, and I'm going to be looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Shout out to the OG Darwin calling this one out. LTRY, still light on volume. Lottery. What is it? Lottery.com. Federal court dismisses all claims against Lottery.com Incorporated and Matthew McCann, whatever, with prejudice. I don't know what with prejudice. I'm not 100% sure, but usually in Canada that means with costs against the party. So your claim is dismissed, but you're charged costs because you acted badly in some way, somehow. So I'm not exactly sure. It's not doing a whole lot of volume quite yet. Volume still at 460,000, nor is it really breaking above yesterday's afternoon high there at $1.70. But, you know, maybe the algos pick this up one in a bit. Shout out to the OG Darwin for calling that out. Not one that we typically trade on here. It's about a $20 million market cap too, only up 4%. Still keeping my eye though on Lemonade. It's losing the 10 exponential, just got into 37s. So yeah, so the situation with this one was, I didn't end up shorting. And I'm feeling quite bad about that because I should have been shorting into 37. I just said, Sharif, it's up big. It's so directional. Don't get caught offside here getting short. That was a mistake. I could have extracted 50 pennies quick as you like on that and then looked long, just like I said I was. So I didn't follow my plan. I paid for it. Don't be like me, okay? So we're going to continue to watch here. It's still at, you know, generally that 37 area. It hasn't given up the ghost at 37. Might be defending it at the moment. I'll pack my patience. If we start bouncing off 37 and by extension of that, the 10 EMA on the 5, I'll get in. Shout out to the, I don't know who this was up here. Let me just, City Boy 305. Shout out to you. You're a new name. I don't know who you are, but you called out something that I like here. So shout out to you, my man. BCG. I don't know why this one didn't show up on my list, and it's still not showing up on my list. Oh, finally, it just made itself available there. Up nice, 90.5%, high day 390. It's having a lot of trouble, Joseph, with 375. It's wicked into 390. It's above VWAP. Obviously, it's above the pre-market high because it really just started spiking up there at 1105. This one is in play. I'm not seeing a headline on it. I don't know if Adara has anything. I'm looking for him yesterday. There's nothing from yesterday, nothing from the prior days. So I don't know what the hell this, why it's moving up. It's called Benah Capital Group, 57 million, market cap. Independent wealth management company, operates through Wentworth. Okay, I've heard about Wentworth Management Services. Remember that Wentworth, they buy your what's it called? Your life insurance.
Oh, yeah?
If you want to sell your life insurance to get cash.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, JG Wentworth, something like that.
Is that JG? Yeah, oh yeah, the commercial.
Yeah,
the LJG Wentworth commercial.
I don't know if this is it or not. It sounds the same, Wentworth, so I'm not saying it is, but that's the look there. So keeping an eye on that, Joseph. Keeping an eye, obviously, on Lemonade. It's fighting for its life right now at $37. If it wants to hold up there, all the better. Let's see what else everybody's saying. Marty, with prejudice means they can never recharge him on those charges. Thank you. I didn't actually know that. American law is a little bit different. Thank you very much, my man. I do appreciate you letting me know that. Joseph Birch Music. BCG got caught in a flush early, was down $700 to $700 was down. You were down $700. Scalp back to $30 down. That's fantastic, bro. What a recovery. Checking to see if it's going to break the high. 390 the high, Joseph, but you probably already know that because you're involved in it. Just letting everybody else know. Ike release, you mentioned BCG briefly when it was heading down. Well, it's still up, brother. It's up nicely here, 85%, holding above VWAP. I'm game if it wants to continue to trade at these levels. Ram, there's BCG right there above the white line, but certainly off the highs. JF Trader, 1877 cash now. Yeah. Called JG Wentworth. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've heard that commercial. They're always on BET, right?
Was it on BET?
Yeah,
BET,
sure.
man. I haven't probably watched BET in over, how old am I now? Jeez, okay, well, yeah, probably 20 years.
Hey, Ram.
Yeah.
How you doing over there?
How's that Kit Kat doing?
She's not listening to us.
Yeah, that's all right, man.
That's okay.
We'll figure it out later.
Are we going to Adara?
We never got the... Okay. Are we going to Adara? I sent it off.
This girl.
Keep an eye here, and yeah, this BCG, I looked into Benoit Capital Group. I haven't found any news on them in the last 2 weeks, but it's worth noting there is a lot of social media attention for this name. Some people saying that they're running because BCG and CCG both are running. It could be like a pairs trade type thing. We know sometimes with small cap tickers, if the tickers sound similar or look similar, they'll run together for whatever reason. So that could be what's happening with the BCG, just given the mentions of CCG as well. So keep an eye on BCG and I guess CCG, which doesn't look like it's running too much here, guys. That's my quick social media deep dive into these small caps. Back to you.
Thank you,
Adara.
Yeah, thank you as always, Adara. You get one of those, especially for the Eli Lilly. Okay, MU Trades. MU Trades. Hopefully you're listening to this. This is what I'm going to say. Look at this selling. Look at this waterfall type price action. Bang. That's it. Bang, bang, bang. But you know, in all seriousness, that's beautiful. Do I think about it for a long from an intraday perspective? Wait for this pullback. Maybe you get this VWAP retest and a hold of this resistance zone and the support zone here around 26. But don't chase it all the way this extended from the volume weighted average price, in my opinion. Unless you're an MA trader and you like the holds of the moving average, then you can probably just ride that as well too, because it seems relatively strong. But nice, beautiful waterfall type price action. And then these indecision candles is everything that I live for right here. Is these ones I told you with the likes of Walmart from a daily perspective and as well as Amazon. So you get this from an intraday perspective. I think that's absolutely gorgeous or absolutely beautiful, as Obi would like to say. This is exactly what I'm looking for. That's picture perfect A1, the epitome of the signals that we were wanting. But again, the volume wasn't the craziest on that name, but that's okay because that signal was so definitive at an extreme low that I think you'd be okay to eventually get in on the long there throughout the day. One thing that we are going to point out here, I think this might be the new dead one here, Sharif, and that's Google, that's Alphabet here. Dang. But the exact same thing. So if I pull up the Unity chart and then you pull up this Google chart, you can see that the relative strength in this name isn't as strong, right? Like if we zoom out here from a daily standpoint and see what we got going on, like look at this. This is horrible, okay? This is absolutely horrendous, Sharif. Down 18% off of the all-time highs. I don't know what you think about that, but in my opinion, that's correction territory. So, and this name is like, okay, like look at this. We know they got a lot of CapEx, AI spend going on, etc. When are they going to start turning a profit? I think that's the big question. But this was just a bunch of noise here. Didn't love any of this here, but now we're selling and we're going to run into some key zones, man. This is not looking good whatsoever. If we run into 169, like I don't know how much lower this thing can go, but as for Donald Sharif, I know you said that this guy's obsessed with the market. I wonder how he truly feels about what he's doing now with it, because I'm not overly happy with this guy right now either, because he's just with the threat of looming tariffs and everything that I got going on. But again, it's me putting money in there and having to realize, hey, nothing is going to always be pretty sunshine, and the grass isn't always as green as you think it's going to be sometimes, but that's okay. Am I still in NVIDIA long? Yes, I am, Sir Mr. M, and we're going to pull that up right now because we're starting to get Mara to break down, and that's exactly what we want. Let me pull it up here for the people and see where we're going. Yeah, like I'm trading New Zealand. Okay, here we go. On Mara, yeah, so we're starting to break through some key support levels. I like this. 1350 could be a next potential target. Possible support zone running running into right now around that 1362. We breach and head right into this mid-range. I'm going to start to look to take some profits on this. Let's see what NVDA is up to as well, too. Hopefully we can get a bounce on this. It's looking like it's heading towards the bottom of this zone, so that's not a pretty picture. Going to have to get out of it as we break some support levels.
All right, man. We're in BCG, in and out, back in, back out again. Let's go. Let's go into 93s. We're looking for the break. Oh.
Oh, no.
Fat finger moment. Took everything out. My mistake. Boo-boo on me. But we're doing well over here on the other one. LMND, about 30 pennies in the money or so. Looking to take out some at 33s. It's showing me 30s, so it'd be just fantastic if it could move down or up, excuse me, just a scotch. How many shares do we have on here? Okay, so what I can do is I can go like this. Let's see if we can get filled like that. Yeah, we do get a fill. Good. All right, so let this one cook. Let's see if we can get the fill a little bit higher. Okay, so let me just talk about what I did here. I made a mistake. What a fat finger is if you're a newer trader. I meant to take out a smaller amount of shares, and I ended up taking more shares out. So now I've taken out the entire lot, and I'm without shares. I'm shareless at the moment. The reason I want to be in shares is because you look what it's doing. It's about to take out $4 right now. BCG is on one. It's up 110%. It's got a bit of a flat top. I'd submit to you at about 375, 380. It did break through it. It hasn't been a breakthrough on a closing basis. Here we go. The traders are jumping into this. You can tell. Just look at the tape. Look how the tape is moving. Look how the book is moving. You don't even need to look at the volume bars to know that volume is coming into this one at an extremely high rate, higher than before. We're still only at 15.25 million shares, so that's not too much for a $3 name. So maybe the volume picks up a little bit more over here. I'm absolutely aces to get back into this one. Let's see if this one lets go. All right, we took almost everything out there. We got all our orders filled here on LMND, except the one that $2/3 of a dollar. We're long 88s. It's showing me 38s. I'm pleased as dang punch. I packed my patience with this one. It did breach the 10 exponential, but it was a quick wick. And now we have a higher low. Doesn't mean that we're going to move back up and take out 39s on LMND, but it puts the odds in my favor a little bit by having a bit of a buffer between myself, the current price action, and my entry. All right, here we go. Now we're showing 44s. I'm waiting at 63s or 62s, something like that. So it's going to have to clear the whole dollar level here for me to get printed. We got a couple of more outs on this bad boy. So just because we take out that 2/3, doesn't mean that we're done. 58's now showing up. I'm waiting in the low 60s, so hopefully we can get printed here. But it is a bit of a wider spread. 43 on the bid, 55s, 58s now on the ask. So it's going to have to cross for me to get the print. Wowzers, there goes BCG. And now we have the high day of $4. But there's a whole bunch of push and pull right now between buyers and sellers at this $4 area. What I'm looking at, guys, is a side chart over here. I chart differently. I got different indicators up on this bad boy. So excuse me if I'm looking back and forth between the screens. It's having trouble with 4, but my spidey sense tells me that this $4 level is going to get taken out quick as you like. Let's talk about some of the deets. BCG. It's a 3.43 million share float with a short float of 1.87%. Not much there, to be quite honest with you, but not bad. It's got a small float, so by its very nature, it can become quite parabolic just because supply is limited. The shares out there are limited. It's already done a 5 times float rotation, 16.6 million shares on 3.43 million share float. So what that means is it's basically cycled through the amount of shares available for trading already 4 times. 5 times. So you can just do the multiples there by dividing. So that is important. It's a metric that we talk about because it shows interest, market interest. If there's a lot of float rotation going on, it means a lot of participation, a lot of volume in the name. So keep that in mind when we talk about that kind of stuff. 59s now showing up on Lemonade. I'm still waiting in the low 60s, and it's not going to print me quite yet, sadly, as the spread opens up a little bit here, Joseph. So I think I'm going to have to tack my patience.
Yeah, good look there. Okay, yeah, so ADHD zone, that's jokes, all right. I mean, I think you got the right idea there, right? Just like whatever you're looking to allocate to that asset, just start slowly averaging in, especially if you're looking for a longer term play on Google. I'm just totally not convinced that there's a bottom in this name yet or in the overall market. I mentioned that we're only down about 4 or 5%. So in my opinion, there's going to be some more downside. We are in that third year, which is usually a more choppy year, and we're heading towards the bottom of that range. Are we going to get that bounce this time? I don't think so after multiple touches. I think that we're going to go sub 500 on the Qs, and then what do we had on and then around probably 550 before we start looking to turn around. So we could end up into somewhat of a turbulent phase in this market here. So just be prepared for that, guys. Sit on some cash if you have the ability to, and then just slowly allocate into your positions. But here we go on NVDAs. We got stopped out here. There's no bouncing. I bought at the top of the range. Not a good idea here when you have a super weak stock like this one. And then something I usually don't do, I averaged in there, and then now we're just continuing to the south side. So yeah, a little bit tougher look there on NVDA. I'm going to avoid that one for a little while, guys, but we're getting the breakdown in Mara. Hopefully we can slowly start to capitulate and then head to about that 13. If we can get the bottom of this zone here, then I'm going to be more than happy with that. But as we start to pull back, I need to be weary. I'm not going to take any profits out yet just because I don't want to take some out and then get stopped out, break even. So what I'll do, I told you guys the game plan, and we're going to stick to it. If we break this here, then that means we're going to construct a new high off of that pivot, and that's not something that I was planning to hold on to. That's the game plan. Inability to construct a new high. Now we form a higher low and then see if we can go to the south side and hold on some. So that is the game plan on that, guys. If there's anything that you are looking at in the chat, feel free to let me know and we will go over it. I know someone asked about PLTR and some earnings. So yeah, we'll take a look at this name here. I want to see what, from a percentage metric as well too, what PLTR is down from those all-time highs, because I was talking about it a couple days in a row here, Sharif. It's just that overall market breadth is weak, and then you have these big names like Amazon, Google, and some other stocks that are down more than double digits. So is that slightly correction territory? Possibly. Maybe we got to go a little bit lower here, but that's okay. We're going to figure some things out and just take it from there. So what do we got going on? 31% off of those all-time highs. Palantir is down. So yeah, not the best look there. A little bit tough one. We are positive about 0.25% on this name in the session, but just look at these opening drives in the overall market here. If you're a 5-minute orb trader, then bang, look at that, just all the way flush to the south side.
What does that mean, Joseph?
5-minute orb?
Yeah.
5-minute opening range break.
Got it.
Yeah, 5-minute orb. So yeah, I guess I should clarify that a little bit. 5-minute opening range. And now that we're talking about it, Sharif, we'll dive a little bit more into it.
Good call.
Because yeah, there's some things that a lot of traders like to do. So you have the 1-minute opening range break traders, 3-minute, whatever it may be, whatever your time frame it is. But it's that opening drive. So when you see something that is relatively strong, what you want to do is play the break of that 5-minute candle, the 1-minute candle, or whatever, the 15-minute candle, whatever your preference is, right? Whatever time frame you like to use. So a lot of traders, okay, now this is the first 5-minute print here. We broke it to the top side. I'm going to enter at the break of the candle, whatever your system requires. A lot of people use the body, or you can use the wick, right? And then you look for the continuation in that trend. Does it always work? Absolutely not. Some things don't work. But then you can also use this 5-minute opening range to go to the south side as well too. So the break to the top side did not work, but now you can play a trade to the downside when it breaks, because now you have some key support levels. You have the pre-market range right here, and then you have this massive engulfing candle on the 5-minute, and if you play the break of that 5-minute wick to the downside, you set yourself up for a really good trade there. I used to trade the orbs quite often when I first started off. It's a good system. You just have to get really comfortable with it. Let's send it off to Adara and see what Neil's got for the lesson of the day.
We're going to have a Neil lesson of the day once again here after a couple days without one. S&P 500 trying to bounce as a guess as of right now near this previous area of support. But generally here, lower highs, flattish bottom or lower lows. Not a great look here for the S&P 500. NASDAQ looking pretty similar, even more bear flaggish here for that NASDAQ. Lots of small caps, though, to play with here. Sharif's been giving them to you over there. And IBIO, I'm seeing popping up here now with an 8 million share float, 5% short float, and about a 1.7 million shares traded on the day. So just under 2 million shares, total volume so far today. We did have, of course, NVIDIA really ruling the day here with earnings, but there were other earnings plays as well. Snowflake, a lot of these earnings names pretty anemic. So we had this initial gaps up in the case of Snowflake and NVIDIA, now kind of languishing right now. CRM, another example of an earnings name. This one actually gapped up, kind of came up here to this 304 level, and right now drifting back lower. So it's really hard for a lot of these names to stay strong today in a market that certainly isn't. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe during the market recap show after the bell, Sean and myself, because there are a lot of earnings today, especially if you're a small cap or retail meme type trader. And I say that because we're going to get SoundHound. We're going to get Clover. And if you're looking at larger names, we're going to get Dell as well. So nice little balance of everything. Join Sean and myself at 4 p.m. Eastern for that market recap show. In the meantime, we're going to join Neil and his lesson of the day. What you got cooking over there, Neil?
Thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, Dell aftermarket, that should be some fireworks, especially with the market reversal that we had this morning. And I think, the lesson of the day, it's going to be a bit twofold. I'll get to the second part because I think it's an obvious one that makes sense because I wasn't feeling well earlier that I'm going to talk about. But the first is simply, we always talk about defining the style of trader you are, but Joe was talking about something which is very important. Whether you take opening range breaks, 5-minute, whatever it might be, you have to be a little bit wary when you've got a lot of stocks which have been making bounces, which have gap ups and reversals and potential breakouts when they're happening at the same time, right? So you get like a stock gapping higher and it's got an obvious resistance level over it like an NVIDIA did, and you could go down the line. I could show you AMD had something similar. You had a lot of names which were trying to take out that top, and then right away at the open, you're falling right through. That's where I think a lot of times you can talk about going reversal, whatever, but if you're looking for long trades, you've got to be very, very particular about your entry style, especially when you have multiple names which have just failed the top. There's going to be those bounce trades in there for sure, but you've got to know where to pick your battles. If you are a support and resistance trader, then you wait for the levels which are supposed to give you your bounces. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Certainly 129 did, 132 did not, 126 did. But if you look at this, there was nothing other than our support and resistance levels to work off of. So if you were support and resistance, you should have been able to eke out some wins on something like an NVIDIA. If you were a breakdown trader, great. I think you're doing absolutely fine. But just to give you another one in here, because we were talking about Mara, when you get things failing early breakouts, you've got to know when to get out of dodge. Like, what is your style of trade? My style of trade is a station-to-station trade. Lose support, get out. Don't fight it underneath. Like, take your money and be able to run. Know what your parameters are. Because I'll tell you right now, like some of those scalp trades in NVIDIA where I'm not holding it forever and I'm getting out with a tight stop, I'm not holding Mara forever. I'm taking it into first resistance, and when it does that, this actually marked the short sell because I had to take profit out when I punched out of position, so it said I was going short, which I was not, because I was aggressively getting out of this when it rejected that high. And you've got to do your own style. For me, that's what lets me be green this morning, is sort of having that really, really tight stop mentality, that really tight entry mentality. And the other side of it is be willing to switch gears. Because, ultimately, I think sometimes you go from like support and resistance to, well, I don't have my levels to work off of. I thought Palantir could be like a breakout. Let's hold it through the top. When you start trending like this, it turns into, this is so much more volatile than I was anticipating. The only setup is going to be a mean reversion play, and you wait for it to get into the target zone, which was a very wide one, and simply break the trend. So we got a trend break there. But when we got to VWAP, I just went into a short, because what's the next available trade here? It can't hold a bit above VWAP for me. I want to trade this name because I believe it's got a big move in it. And you get a quick dollar scalp on this stock just on one short trade, which happened way faster than any of our long bounce trades happen over here. So you've got to be able to know what style of trader you're going to be. But in that first 5-10 minutes, when you get false breaks, there's another example of a false break that high. If you're trying to go long on a false break, there's only two ways that it can work. One, you have a ridiculously good support and resistance level, which it actually shows a bounce at. NVIDIA had a couple, so you could get away with those. Or you get some kind of a capitulation bottom where it shows you in a support area that you've got a reversal candle and you can work into some longs. Outside of that, there were many moments today in the morning show where I was flat and not in any trades. And if I'm looking long in a day like today, then that's, I think, how it should be. Because if you're long the whole way in a morning like this, you basically just have to hope to get the bottom and that you're still in at that point. That's not a place that I want to be. And the second part of the lesson of the day here is simply, look, man, I've been under the weather the last couple of days. And one of the things is you should know yourself. This morning, didn't feel compromised, got a good night's sleep, had a good night's sleep last night, feeling absolutely fine. But I can tell you right now, starting to hit a little bit of that wall. So I know I'm going to trade less this afternoon off the get-go. Been under the weather the last couple of sessions, starting to hit a little bit of that wall. You should know that about yourself as well. I know Obi talks about this a lot. I try to talk about this whenever the chance is. It's one thing, being tough. I'll come in, whatever, how I'm feeling. I love the markets. I'm going to make it happen. But if you know that you're a little bit slower, a little more compromised, you don't have to overtrade in that situation. You can pick your best spots. Only take the entries which require the least amount of, not analysis, that's the wrong word. The least amount of discretion, let's just put it that way. All those discretionary decisions. Well, I know when I take a mean reversion setup, it's very binary for me. I don't have to worry about working my entry. It's like this happens, I go long, and my stop goes in right there. Those are the types of trades I'll look for when I'm not feeling 100%, because I know it's hard for me to muck that up, given how binary the trade and the setup is going to be. So for myself, that's what I want to do at lunchtime in the afternoon. Just be very, very particular. One might be setting up here on Palantir for a trend reverse, but that's what I want to be doing in the second half of today. Be very particular with your trades. On days where you're against the grain, it's going to help you. On days where you're compromised, you're a little bit tired and not feeling that well, the days where you don't have the best read, it certainly will help. But that opening rush, if multiple stocks, going back to the first part of this, if multiple stocks are gapping up and failing a break of the high right at the open, if you're trying to go long into that after you've lost some of the bottom, you have to have a very particular plan for an entry into those stocks, whatever it might be. As long as you have a plan, it should be okay. But if you don't have one, you don't have to be long. Just because you wanted to dip buy, the environment could be vastly different once you see those highs all fail at the same time. You don't have to just be sitting on that bid and catching it bleed in. I have a couple of strategies I like. Sean has a couple of strategies he likes, and everyone's going to do their own thing. But if you don't have one, A, it gives you a chance to work on one that might work for you, but B, it also helps you save money if you're on the sidelines when looking long into a screaming down market. There is absolutely nothing wrong with taking a step back and waiting for that perfect setup, or taking a step back, wait until you feel better. So there's your lesson of the day. Good luck, everybody, for your trading the rest of this one, and we'll see if this NASDAQ can continue to hold that 21.
Thank you very much, Neil. Wise words as always, baby. Neil Roberts, every day around that noon hour, he's dropping his lesson of the day. Make sure to catch it. Thank you again, Neil. I want to cover this trade that I had on Lemonade. I'm proud of this trade. Show yourself, Lemonade. There we go. So this did dip into the 10 exponential. I picked it up there. We took a dollar banger there, so we're going to hit the dollar club for this one into that 38. We had it at around 36.75. We took everything out in the high 90s there, 37 high 90s. So good look there, but it is now putting in lower highs. High day, 38.68. The last little area crest breached 38 by a couple of shekels there to 38.20. So it's another lower high. I'll submit to you $38 there is the level. So be careful with this one if you're involved. Yeah, so I kept my eye on that one. I also had a trade on HIMS while Neil was dropping hot lines. We got in at the volume weighted average price at 44.20. I was able to scalp out there in the 75s. It's still doing the VWAP dance right now. I'm talking about HIMS. It keeps coming into the volume weighted average price, give or take, at around $44. Sometimes it does breach the level 44, but generally it is a $44 level. The problem, though, is that HIMS is putting in this rounded top. Remember that discussion on rounded bottoms? We said it was a bullish reversal pattern, and and it needed to be preceded by a downtrend. This is the exact opposite. Preceded by an uptrend, and it's a rounded top. This one looks like it might want to give up the ghost at VWAP. It's not a done deal by any means. It's going to have to breach. It still hasn't breached, but I'm very much on the lookout here for HIMS to drop down big below VWAP. Let me just find out if this is a pay for shorts type situation. No, it is not. It is a free shorts on the best dang prop firm around these parts. It's called Real Trading, baby. Shout out to them. All right, so that's where we're at right now, in case you're wondering. The company that we're trading their money, it's called Real Trading. Best company around. Here's the deal. We're involved in a new trade now. Show yourself, new trade. There we go. ARIS. I'm about, 5 pennies in the money on this. Nothing to write home about. This is a VWAP hold here on AIRS. Sorry, not a VWAP hold, a $31 level hold. VWAP's at 30.55, so we're well above VWAP over here. But there's price action support. Have a look at this. 31 generally is holding on. I mean, it does breach it at times. Look over here. At 11 o'clock, it breached it, quickly got up above it. Again at 11.52, breached it, quickly got above it. So I'm looking for that $31 level to hold. This one, though, is a volume. It's light on volume. Okay, I was going to make a joke, but it is light on volume. So be careful with this one, trading it, because, these ones that they lack volume, a big seller can come in, take out like a whole bunch of levels, and all of a sudden you're at 31.30, and this big seller comes in, and you find yourself at 30.80. So the point is, be careful with these low volume names. All right, I'm setting up here at 29s and then 42s. Are we going to Adara? Sorry, I wasn't plugged in.
Yeah, we're going to
We
Adara.
are? Okay,
yeah.
Get it, Adara.
Breaking news on mRNA. Chamath Palihapitiya, in case you aren't aware of him, he is actually one of the co-hosts of the All In podcast. Also, one of the members of which is actually part of Trump's team, as its AI and crypto czar, David Sachs. Regardless, Chamath Palihapitiya posting here, or I guess reposting an article or this post looks like it's from a week ago now, but about the possibility of mRNA vaccines for curing pancreatic cancer. Chamath's caption was, "This could be a huge breakthrough for pancreatic cancer. Wow." Now, to be clear, again, this is an older post, but he just reposted it 2 minutes ago, and mRNA getting a lot of volume here. So mRNA on watch after a well-known investor reposted an article from a week ago about a potential pancreatic cancer treatment. Very long-winded catalyst, but mRNA reacting nonetheless. Back to you.
Yeah, I was talking to the Katina man there, and we have our own opinions about that whole thing. Shout out to him. I hope he does quite well. What are your thoughts on that?
Who's it? You guys
Chamath Palihapitiya?
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, he's the guy. Okay, well, I'll tell you who he is. He's one of the 4 hosts on the All In podcast. He's the Indian guy.
Okay,
he's Canadian.
Oh, is
so
he?
He's from Ottawa. Originally graduated Waterloo Engineering. Went down south. Was part of the Zuck team when Meta was first coming up. So he kind of made his money there with Meta, and now he's a billionaire. And he does like these,
He's doing his thing there.
He's doing his thing pretty fine,
all right. So that's good.
We're gonna be having Mr. Wonderful on. When Katina man? Any day? Probably a couple of weeks. We're going to have Mr. Wonderful back on. We'll be asking him all sorts of questions about crypto and everything else.
Yeah, I would love to hear what. I remember I was here last year. I just started on the floor actually when I seen Kevin walk in, and so it'd be good to maybe ask him a question or two. But here we go, guys. We're gonna go over some earnings and some expected moves because that's what we like to do around here. So we got SoundHound, Dell, Rocket Lab, and Clover Health. Duolingo are some of the names that I'll be looking at for after the bell here. Let's see what we got going on for some expected moves. So on Dell, we are looking at about a 9.8% EM there, implied move there on Dell, guys, after the bell, but the previous move was about 12.3%. Very interesting. For some reason, it's telling me that Autodesk, ADSK, is also reporting, but I don't see it here. Oh, okay, there it is. Autodesk is also reporting, guys, something I'll be keeping an eye out on. Let's see what we got for an EM. 6.3%. The previous move was around 8.6%. Very interesting. And then we'll go over one more quick here. That's Warner Bros. We got Warner Bros. Coming in at about a 10.5% expected move, and the previous was 11.8. So those are going to be interesting. I think Dell's going to be a good one for sure. So I'll be looking forward to watching Dell after the bell here. I'm sure Neil or Sean will be covering that, but let's take a look at it. We'll see what we got going on from a daily perspective, and we'll see what the stock is up to. So tough look here in Dell. I guess this PC game, and I'm not too familiar with it. I know there's so many different gaming PCs and etc. But look at this run it went on, and then it just went into like absolute like this is diabolical here, or diabolical.
Agreed.
I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. This is not something you want to be looking at. This price action is extremely tough. Even though we are constructing these lower highs or higher lows, I just don't think that this is a name that I want to be in right now. And that's a lot of them, right? Considering we're on some downtrends, yeah, you can be grabbing them at lower prices, but we talk about Google a lot as well too, guys. And it's like, okay, wait. And a lot of people in the chat are asking me like, hey, Joe, when are you looking to get in on this? And I'm like, I don't even know just yet. You have to be patient, wait for those signals to display itself. And I mentioned time and time again, that's ugly, dude. Yeah, it's Google, dude. Ew. Down 19% off of those all-time highs, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, we're running into correction territory with some of these names, so we just have to be patient and wait for them to turn around and then let the signals display themselves. The market's still relatively not far off of those all-time highs, still only about 4 or 5%, which is like, hey, okay, is there more downside? What's market breadth looking like? And I think that's when you have to just really assess what's going on and take it from there. Being patient is definitely a position. Sitting on your hands and sitting on cash, in my opinion, is most definitely a position. Sharif.
All right, man. We're in BCG here to defend 5. Let's see if it wants to defend 5. I'm at 25s over here. Showed me 24s. It rejected 24s. Waiting. Oh, I'm going to take it out over here. No, forget that. Here we go. Let's go. There we go. We'll take it out there. So, oh. No, we didn't take it out. Now we can take it out. Oh, good. We got 27s there. Even better. So BCG breaking out to the high side, guys. This one is on one. It is 550 high. Came back down into 5. I got it in to defend the $5 level. I don't know if I'm going to be looking to add again onto this one. It is certainly putting in higher lows. Here we go again. 540 incoming. It's got a 550 high. I'm talking about BCG. Not BGC, but BCG. I saw it mistyped in the chat a few times there. It's up 185%. I gave you guys the deets on it already. And if you forgot, here it is again. 3.43 million share float with a $1.87 million market cap. What does this company do, bro? Show yourself. BCG. Independent Wealth Management. We already talked about this. Wentworth. Man, I have like a memory of a fish, bro. I forget so quickly the details of these companies. Anyway, coming back up into 550 here, we're showing high 40s, mid 40s now. This is going to break the high of the day likely. It's got a lot of volume behind it. We're about 30 million shares. There it goes. 573 now, the high of the day, showing me 69s. Boom, 81s into the high. BCG up over 200%. The volume is coming in fast. The volume is coming in furious. Be careful with this, please. Okay, I hate to get these messages after, oh, you called out BCG and now I'm down $300 on it, right? I hate that because it makes me feel bad, but I've also told you to be careful and get in using stops, good size as well. With this. Can we show the price action, Raymond, please? Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye out on this one. If this one wants to take out the high of the day and test $6, I'm all game there. We're involved in another trade, though. Right now, there it is, ARIS. We just take out 30s there. Now show me 36. Now I'm waiting at 42s. So we'll see if this one wants to continue to go. It's been defending 31 for a hot minute. Let's see if we can extract some more profitability on here, on this bad boy, and take out some more here. Zigging and zagging. I'm guessing, I'm trying to gauge whether or not this holds 30. Let's go back to BCG because this is all the hype right now. There it is, back up into 581. That's a new high day right now on BCG. Look, the 10 exponential, just to give you an idea, is at 4 1/3. We're printing 580s on this. So I've told you guys this before. I want to tell you guys again. I use the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart as an informal gauge of overbought and oversold conditions. When the price action gets far away, far removed from the 10, I worry and I look for a pullback before getting back in. It's not a hard and fast rule. It doesn't work every time, but it works just fine for me. What's up, Adira?
Really fascinating update here in the Chamath Palihapitiya Moderna saga. So in case you missed it, literally just a couple of minutes ago, Chamath Palihapitiya of All In, which is a podcast, he's also a known investor. Basically, he reposted a tweet from February 19th suggesting the possibilities of a vaccine with regards to pancreatic cancer. His caption was, this could be a huge breakthrough for pancreatic cancer. Wow. And Moderna bumped. Then he actually looks like he deleted this tweet reposted the tweet with the first part exactly the same, but then added a disclaimer saying, unfortunately, mRNA might have a bit of a stigma and people may need to be convinced, and then talks about the COVID vaccine. So the point I'm trying to make here is, interestingly enough, it doesn't even look like he edited the post. It looks like he deleted it and then reposted his post about this potential vaccine for pancreatic cancer. So mRNA on watch here as Chamath continues to kind of change the narrative a bit with regards to this pancreatic cancer story. Again, the initial thing that he's reposting is already an older story from about a week ago, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, all right, guys. Yeah, let's see what's going on there. It's just stock's not going up enough, I guess. So it was just weird. I like that one. But let's see what we got going on here with NVDA here, guys. Hoping that we can hold this base here around 126, and then hopefully punch through 127. And we talk about this time and time again, Sharif and I. It's like you sit in this trade here for what is like a good 20 minutes or so, and then in 2 minutes it's just all gone. So we're hopefully waiting for this to kind of punch a little higher. I like that we are consolidating in this range here. Hopefully that we can take this pop higher. But that second leg might come into play because this is a long consolidation phase, and we are down about 4%. We are constructing lower highs as well too. So we need to be weary of that, guys. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's see what Mara's up to as well. We were starting to get the ball rolling on that one, but now we're starting to pull back. So hopefully we can continue to break down. The overall market seems it wants to pull back as well too. So we'll just keep an eye on it. Now see, we're just sitting in this, and now we're just right back into that break even. Should have took some off at 13.5s, but that's okay. We were looking for the bottom of the range, and we might not get that. One thing that we have to keep an eye on is the volume by time profile, and that we will do. It is starting to pick up, so we have to be weary on that front too, guys. So are we ready?
Sir.
Okay, cool. All right, OGen, guys. Each year, 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NICE-listed Orgenix, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Orgenix is uniquely positioned to be the lead in that space. Learn more and schedule a meeting today on Orgen Revised, guys. So OGEN Revised, the link is right there. Scan the QR code. And I think that's actually pretty interesting that they're going to have like an intranasal, like a nasal spray for something. I wonder what that's going to do, because I've had a concussion before and recently, and it's like, okay, how would that help me if I were to take like a nasal spray?
I don't think it's just going to help. It's the way that the body absorbs it.
Mm-hmm.
When you take oral pills, a lot of that's metabolized in the liver, and the active ingredient doesn't actually find its way to the bloodstream.
To the brain.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people.
So it's going directly to where the problem is, opposed to just ingesting. Okay, so they say.
It's like. A lot of nasal sprays have steroids.
But I'm just curious. Like, you played football and everything. Like, what is that going to do? Is that going to help with our headaches? Is that going to help with like the short-term memory loss?
Question,
you know what I mean? Like, what is it going to do? Like,
I don't know.
Well, it's a good question.
Maybe it helps the degenerative process slow down. Yeah, that's beyond my scope of comprehension. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, concussions suck too.
For the experts, Joseph. Good question though, guys. We're still involved in ARIS, and this one, look, I knew what I was getting into when I traded this one. It's crossing my beak wetters, but it's not printing, and the reason is because it's a spread. Okay, you complain enough, you get printed. And I'm kidding, of course. But we just got the print there at the 30s. What's my cost basis at, baby? Let's find out over here. We're long 18s. We just got the print at 30s. Now the next area I'm waiting is a little bit above that 40 area. Maybe I should be extracting some profits before that, just given the nature of this trade. What I liked about it specifically was the 31 hold and the higher lows that it's been putting in. It kind of put that whole thing into question over here. I felt this was kind of curling up, which is why I punched in initially in there, and then I defended in the 31. But it did end up putting in a higher low. So if we take this area trough over here, breaching 90, that's 30, 87s or 88s. And then this area here actually defended 31 to the dot, because I actually had a dip trade in the mid 90s that didn't get filled. It's showing me 32s now. Again, like I said, I'm waiting in the low 40s there. I'm talking about AIRS, but it's this one. That's all the hype. I've been trading this one as well. Got in at 5. Wet the beak, got in again at 54s, wet the beak, but it is a topping tail candle right now on BCG at 581. And here's the bamboozling part. At least it's bamboozling for me. Let me make my case here. So here's the deal. This one, I look for continuity, especially after these topping tail candles. And what I'm talking about over here is I don't want to see a lower low. And that's what you get with this 5-minute candle. So the candle over here at 1220, the low there is around 4 low 90s. And then this bad boy over here has a low of around 475. Now, I don't mind it being a topping tail candle. I get that. But what I'm looking for is for the low to hold up. And it didn't here. So this is very much a lower high and a lower low currently on BCG. It's above 5. And as I've mentioned before, these topping tail candles with long upper wicks are not determinative on these small cap gappers in the way that they would be on a mid cap or a large cap or a mega cap stock where they show a decided change in trend. This one is more like profit taking because people are, let's call a spade a spade. They're trading this intraday. They don't care about this company. They're not holding it overnight. So to me, it's not determinative here. So I don't want to say, oh, that it's all over for BCG, topping tail candle, we're going back down to 0. No, it's just about how to work yourself into the position. So I'm very much in focus right now. But AIRS is breaking up to the top side right now. What a move up over here. Let's wet the beak with this one. Nice trade here. I'm very pleased with this one. It's breaking. It's about 10 pennies off the high right now. We just took out 59s. It's showing me 67s. The high is 78, so 12 pennies off the 11 pennies off the high. No, I can do math. I promise.
You hit that one? I need that.
No, I didn't.
I need the siren,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
if it's Ram or Neil. I know Neil has that one as well.
I was having a heyday.
He said, so he doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, he's cleaning his plate. I was having a heyday with his stream deck yesterday.
How's the food, brother?
A couple of Neil face slappers.
It's a salad, man. He's like, look, don't stop asking me questions. I'm on my break.
Like, get out of here.
Shout out to Darwin, Mr. Two Pumps. Oh, look at Katina Man. Katina Man was getting in front of my flex there. Yeah, good job, Raymond. What did you do
Play it
there?
Again.
Fabian. That's a good job, Fabian. Fabian's killing it lately, bro.
Play the raccoon one again.
Oh. What Raymond's talking about there is that, a lot of these older animations, we love them, but they would flicker a lot. And that displeased us because it doesn't look good. So Fabian was able to fix it. Bang, Joseph. ARIS. Show the chart, please. Ram. We take it out at 31.80. That's an 80 penny banger right there on ARIS. It takes out the top. A new high a day on AIRS. Right now it's showing 84s, despite the fact that my level 2 is showing me 90s here. Maybe we need to update it on the side chart. Joseph, let me just fix this quickly to find out what the current high day is. It is still, it's 84s, despite the fact that the level 2 showing me 90. Please as dang punch right now on AIRS. What a hold up at 31. You're about to get 32s. What's the look on your side, man?
Yeah, I'm just going in here on some NVDA, man. It's tough, man. Couldn't get the ball rolling the past couple of days, to be honest with you guys. And that's where we're here, to be frank, right? So we're kind of getting it moving now, catching the bottom. And I just want to talk about what's fundamentally wrong and from a technical standpoint and what I'm doing, okay? So NVDA, weak opening drives, right? And then now you're putting into a consolidation phase. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to play the break of a consolidation phase on low volume in a stock that's weak to the top side. And I'm like, okay, why isn't the system working? Well, it's like, okay, Joseph, talk to yourself, break it down and see what you can do, dissect what's going on, and just take it in from there. Okay, so one, we're gonna go through this step by step. And I think if you're having a tough time, it's like, okay, where can I improve? And this is exactly what I'm gonna do. One, I'm trying to buy the top of a range on low volume. Two, I'm buying the top of a range on low volume when the stock is weak. And three, I'm buying the top of a range on low volume when the stock is weak and we're down 5%. And it's like, why isn't it breaking out? You can't do that. You got to try to get in around the bottom of the range and then take it higher, because that's exactly what we're doing. You see that we're in this definitive consolidation zone. Don't try to play the breakout unless that volume really steps in. You got to get the bottom of it and then play the range, or sell the top of the range and then come back to the bottom of the range. And that's what we did here. So hopefully hopefully we can break through, but I'm positioned so much better now that my risk to reward isn't as skewed. So let's talk about this from an RBR standpoint, okay? So now I'm in here at the top of the range. Again, if I put my stop in the middle of it, then it's probably gonna get hit, and that's exactly what happens. So what you gotta do is you gotta put your stop all the way down here. So now if my stop is all the way down here, 2 points away, I now need a 4-point move in order to hit a 2-to-1. That's not fun, and the chances of that happening in NVDA here are very low. But if I get an entry at the bottom of the range and then I can put it a point lower, now I only need a 2-point move to hit that 2-to-1. And I think that's how you kind of got to look at it sometimes. And that's why just me kind of rewiring the brain. The past couple of sessions have been absolutely rough for my behalf, and that's okay because I know I will bounce back, and that's just the type of the individual that I am. But yeah, guys, if you guys are in anything that you want to take a look at, the Playmaker poll is now up. We didn't do any yesterday, and that's fine. It's a neck-and-neck race right now.
Obi's fault.
51% and 49%. Yeah, Obi's fault. But I mean, where is he? What's he doing?
He's not
here right now. Yeah, you got to go for a walk. But I mean, yeah, here we go, guys. Get those votes in, and we're gonna do the Playmaker poll as well too. And if you want me to take a gander at any stocks that you guys are looking at in the overall market, feel free, and I will do so. Dexter Smith, first in line, and you are the first to be served, my guy. It's a 5-star service over here. I like sitting over there is pretty good stuff there too, because you got the 5-star service there. What's that?
Randy?
What's that one? What's that one hotel in Dubai?
Oh, the only Dubai or the Palms?
The only like 6-star or whatever it is.
I don't remember, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was the first one that you said.
Burj Dubai.
No, not the Burj.
There's the Palms.
Yeah.
Dubai, I don't know.
If anything, Ramin should know. Ramin should know if anything.
Yeah,
what is that?
Ram?
Yeah, what is that 5? What is the only like 6-star resort hotel
in the world?
In the world in Dubai.
Ram. Isn't it Burj Al Arab? Is it?
The Burj Al Arab,
yeah.
I think. The Burj Al Arab, they're saying, is the only 5-star one, guys. And if you know in the chat, please let us know. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here from on Meta from a daily perspective, too, because I think that's really important. Sharif, I mentioned time and time again, we have Google down 15-16%. We have Amazon down the exact same, and now we have Meta down as well, over around 13%. Burj Al Arab. So everybody's saying it. The Burj Khalifa, I don't think is it, but the Burj Al Arab is, I think, definitely it. But all these big names are down significantly. And it's like, okay, well, why isn't the market moving higher? Well, without these big boys participating, then it's going to be tough, right? Like
talking smack. Right?
What is she saying? What'd you say?
She's like, you're going to keep letting him pronounce it like that? I'm like, what do you want him to do?
Why don't you tell me how to? Yeah, what do you tell me how to pronounce?
Yeah. You have a whole
no, hold on. No, time out. You're on Duolingo.
Get her, Joseph.
You're on Duolingo learning the language. Oh,
she hasn't been doing any lessons, Joseph. Okay, I've got proof of it right here.
All right,
because
it
compares the lessons, how many I've done versus that. She's at this much
zero
for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to run. All right, watch out for that Kit Kat bar in the fridge, because it's going to be gone here shortly.
See, Adara, I'm not the only one threatening her anymore. It's going around now.
It's all love, man.
You're next, Adara.
It's all Libra love, man.
You're going to threaten her because she's going to come after you. Trust me.
Watch out.
It's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time, Adara. Yeah.
HR's over here. He's already told us. He's like, send the HR letter. It's going to go in the garbage. What'd you say, Katina Man? Toxic environment. Thank you, Katina Man.
Exactly.
Thank you. Katina Man knows what's happening around.
But nothing. We can fix that all with some more Kit Kat bars and all that
Neil,
stuff. So
the fridge. All Neil heard was there was a Kit Kat in the fridge. He didn't hear anything else.
Neil, don't even think about it. Don't even think it.
Sorry, guys. I know we're talking with people off camera. We're having a good time today. I hope we're not bothering anybody.
Yeah, hopefully we're not bothering anybody. Okay, so here we go. Back to being serious. Google down 18%. Meta down about 10-12%. Apple down about 8%, Microsoft down 15%, and the market's not even anywhere, well, I shouldn't say anywhere close to all times. It's still relatively close, so it's like, this is slightly alarming. We have to be prepared in order to take advantage of this stuff, and when we're going to start to rebound. And Tesla also down 40% now off of those all-time highs. It's not looking pretty for the Mag 7, Sharif.
One sec, Joseph.
Okay, I got to continue. Yeah, continue what you need to do there, my guy. We'll pull up what we got cooking up here. We're still cooking in NVDA, which I think is really important. This would be huge if we broke this resistance zone here, if that volume on the lower time frame started to step in, and then we can push to about 128, 129, right around the volume weighted average price. Even a push through the VWAP itself, that would be much, much appreciated. So now let's go over the top performing sectors because we have not done that today. And financials, XLF is actually at the top of its class today, guys. Up about 1.3% on the session. So here we are. XLF still running relatively strong. Only about 0.5% off of those all-time highs, if that. Yeah, just about 0.8 there. So XLF really strong. And I talked about finding strong sectors, and that's where you have to go and find the top performing ones, with financials in first place here, energy in second, up about 1.3, the real estate sector up about 0.7 as well too. My guy, you got cooking up there?
Yeah, sorry, I was just in that trade. It was precarious at the moment because I lost 5. Yeah, we're trading BCG. Shout out to Elizabeth Stott in the chat. She's watching it. She's trading these small caps. We're going to drop the cash for Elizabeth. Great call out, Elizabeth. And here's the deal. I was looking at getting in at 5 because 5 was the level. We kept putting in higher lows, but we also, most notably, we were putting in lower highs as well. And then it lost 5. But guess where it stopped out? The 10 exponential moving average. And that's where I got involved there, right at 457. We scalped out there into 482. Not a big win, obviously, but we'll look to scalp a little bit more, especially if this one wants to curl above 5. Now it's looking awfully bull flaggish. And you know, the bull flag here, they're not all cut from the same cloth. Some of them are going to look deformed, right, with kind of like a megaphone shape. Some of them will be more compression, like a pennant shape. The point is, what we're looking for with a bull flag is a big move up, and then a kind of a sideways consolidation, a little bit. That wasn't you, was it? I told you, bro. You guys didn't believe me when I told you about this before.
Hit it.
What's going on, Rammer? It looks really good. You guys are killing it, man. I mean, I never say anything about your skills, Ram. It's just, you know, your overall character and demeanor.
It's Fabian.
That's questionable. I'm just. Oh, I didn't mean to. My bad, girl. No.
Yeah.
She just made me feel bad.
Yeah, she
heard
did,
that,
man.
Joseph?
Yeah, I heard that one.
You saw that, Joseph?
Yeah, it's all right.
You can't do that, Ram. You can't just change the rules mid. You know what I mean? Whatever, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad now, Ram. No, you know I don't mean that. But anyway, let's get back to trading over here. BCG, it did lose that $0.50. It's still zigging and zag. But the current candle, the current 5-minute candle that we're on, guys, a little bit of a higher low. Looks like we breached 440 last time. The best we could do to the downside, obviously, 445. So we have a bit of a higher low. So what I'm trying to say here, ineloquently, is I feel this might be the second bull flag. There's the first bull flag, the breakout there. We get that consolidation, and then we get that big move up. Now we're kind of caught in the second bull flag over here to the high side. So who are you talking to there, bro?
I was reading.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry, did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah,
was it loud or? Yeah, wow, I was just reading something, man.
Everybody's on everybody's case today.
I'm noticing.
Yeah, it's really a Thursday. Yeah, this is losing the bid right now, guys. Here it comes. BCG is at VWAP. It's lost VWAP right now. It's lost 4 as well. So the selling is coming in. It's fast. It's furious. Does it find support at 4? I'll submit to you that there was price action support at 380 to 390. Look at the top end of the bull flag there. So we come in very aggressively into that side. I'm not going to be buying here, baby. We are below VWAP. I don't care if it's a good dip trade or not. My rule is to not buy below VWAP. This is crazy right now on BCG. A lot of price action. We were up 200%. Now we're back down into 120. Trade this carefully, please, and thank you. Joseph Wilson.
Yes, sir. We got a question in the chat from Luis Martinez. He says, hey, Joe, I'm in a poor man's covered call, so he has an option, and he's selling call options against that one, so that is a poor man's covered call. What happens to the call option if the strike price is reached? Does the broker automatically close them out? I need a little bit more information on which contract you're talking about, the short one or the long one, okay? So if the short one finishes in the money, then your long call will be exercised, and then they'll just essentially cancel each other out, okay? So just keep that in mind. Luis Martinez, I need a little bit more information on that specifically. Let's see if he said anything here. the long call. So if that one, so what you want to do, the goal of the options contracts is you don't want them, so like if you're in the money on them, you want to close them before expiration, all right? And otherwise your broker will exercise them and you'll get them at said strike price. So just keep that in mind. The goal is to always close your options if you're in the money before the expiration, and especially because theta will start to chew away if you have any form of extrinsic value on those contracts. So hopefully that helped you out, Lewis. The long call is in the money. Yeah, so just close both legs, in my opinion, right? So you don't want to hold a short call option. And if your long call is in the money, then just close both the legs and then just walk away with whatever profit that you have, because you want to close all contracts before expiration, because theta will chew up the extrinsic value. You'll keep the intrinsic value if you're in the money. But the extrinsic value will be diminished as you get closer and closer to expiration, and extrinsic value being the time value, okay? So if you have extra time value on that contract running into getting closer to expiration, you want to hold on to that time, but you're in the money, so just close both of the contracts as simply as I can put it. And if you have any further questions, just feel free to ask me. Yeah, so the long call, just close it. And if you're in the money, just close the short first and then close the long, and do it in that order. Or you can close simultaneously because you're in the poor man's covered call, all right? So just keep that in mind. And here we go with some NVDA. We took a little bit more off the top here, starting to pull back in, super range bound. We're not getting that breakout that we needed, nor is that volume stepping in on the lower time frames. So it's something that we need to be weary of and just keep an eye on for the day. And that's just what I'm sitting in right now. I'm gonna scope around. It's unfortunate that Amazon has put in the session that it has, because it was looking good this morning. But then we sold off down only about 0.6% here, and looking like we might break through the support. So I got to really, really assess the situation on the swing trade to see. I do have a stop out, but that's not until 205, and I added to those shares too. So I might have to move that one up there, guys. Yeah, thanks. Hopefully that helped, Lewis, if that answered your question. If not, just feel free to ask me again, and I will answer it the best that I can. Tesla. What's going on with this thing? I don't know if we're getting into the realm of AMD on this name. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. AMD. Yeah, but it's not looking good from a daily standpoint. Look at these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 consecutive red days here on Tesla, down 40% off of those all-time highs. Yeah, 41% now.
275 is coming in fast.
Yeah, really. I think we go to 200. I think at this pace here. That's not too far away, which would be, yeah, that would really, really suck here. But I mean, Sean and I were talking about it yesterday a little bit as well. It's just like it took 4 years for it to make a new all-time high, right? Like,
good point. I wonder why. What happened during those 4 years?
Yeah, what did happen during those 4 years?
Think about it.
Right? So it's just like, yeah, I mean,
think about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that. We'll leave it at that. I mean, but here we go. November of 21 was the previous high, and then we didn't make a new all-time high until December of 24. So 3 years there. So that's 3 years of not very much fun, Sharif.
Absolutely, Joseph. I see you, Random Oddities. I'm looking right at it. It's on my screen. I'm watching it like a dang hawk right now. BCG's all the rave. It's at VWAP. It kind of breached 4, but as you can see, it's obviously above 4 right now. So 4 1/3 is where it's dancing. 4 1/4. I don't want to be quick to get in. I don't need to be quick to get in here. The high is 581, and if you think that we take out the highs, well, then you can give it a few more candles here on the 5 to at least defend that $4 area, to defend the volume weighted average price. It came into a very good area, to be honest, in terms of a technical area of resistance and support. I mean, like almost to the penny, guys. Look at this candle right here. That's the local area high. That candle takes us all the way up to 388, okay? Look at this candle down here, the one that breached VWAP and obviously breached 4. Look where it bottomed out, 391. I mean, that's a beautiful, from resistance, it flips to support. It would breach my rules, though, to pick it up down there because it would be VWAP. It would be lower than VWAP, but it's a great little kind of dip trade if you had it and you're already well in the money, 50 more than 50 pennies in the money off that area. So it's a nice resistance, flips to support kind of situation right now on BCG. Shout out to Jack dropping cash. $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Guys, do you think it's possible NVIDIA can be 180 by the end of the year? I wouldn't put it past NVIDIA. Now, obviously, let me say some stuff. That they have gross margins in the range of 70 to 73%. That's insane for a physical product, okay? Those are kind of margins that you have for a SaaS, software as a service, or just general software in general. General software in general. Huh? Okay, good English, Sharif. No, seriously though, okay? So what am I saying this for? What I'm saying this for is because likely their competitors start eating into their gross margins. Case in point, NVIDIA, AMD, Broadcom. Now they're having trouble eating into their gross margins, and they have been for the last 2 years. How come? Because Taiwan Semi is the one that makes 90% of these advanced AI chips. And NVIDIA takes the great majority of Taiwan Semi's capacity. That is not going to be the case forever and ever more. There are fabs, fabrications underway to make these chips in the United States and by TSMC. And TSMC has promised AMD a great amount of capacity out of the new fabs. When those new fabs get done, your guess is as good as mine. I believe some are almost done at the moment. I'll have to double check that again. But the point is, you know, they're the king right now. They may remain the king, but do their competitors start eating into their margin and eating into their market share? And if they do, does it have a downward pressure on NVIDIA stock, or does the growth in sales continue to justify the stock price, continue to justify the market cap? Lots of good questions that you can ask about that. If you had to guess, if I had to guess, and that's all that it is, a guess, I'd say NVIDIA doesn't hit 180 by the end of the year. What's your opinion?
Does not?
No.
No? Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know what? Let me just check to see when those fabs are going to be completed, because a lot of what I'm saying, I think, is predicated upon some of their competitors finally catching a bit of a tailwind, which they haven't been able to. I mean, just look at AMD stock.
Yeah.
It's absolute crap.
Crap.
Right? And even though it has a good GPU, the MI300, the upcoming MI350, just can't make them in scale. Can't make them.
Yeah, you're right about that, but just because it's TSM, right?
I'd like to hear what the chat has to say.
Yeah,
I'd love your opinion.
It's kind of mixed bag right now. Sir Mr. M says no, and a lot of people say no
I don't
again.
think so.
Let's see what 180 brings us here. Let's zoom out.
What would the market cap be at 180?
180. Wow, I think you'd be at that you'd be north of 4 trillion. No. No.
You don't think so, Katina? Yeah. I have no idea. Daniel,
we can figure that out. Okay, so Sharif, to 180 right now is a 40% gain, 44% gain. All right, from where we're currently at, that's a 44% gain all the way up to 180. Is that possible? Very much so.
Possible.
Okay,
yeah.
What is the market cap? The market cap of NVDA at the price?
Good question.
The price of 180.
A share. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, he probably understands that. Let's see what it says. What is it telling you?
$4.4 trillion. That says. So there you go.
Yeah, that's intense, man.
4.4 trillion.
Look, I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility. It's just they got to catch the right tailwinds. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Let's find out when these fabs are going to be completed. Let's go over to Chat Gupt over here. Let's find out what it has to say. When will TSMC's new foundries in the U.S. be completed? Show me.
Bang.
Let's see what it's got. Searching the web, Joseph. Here we go. Let's show.
I like how you use Gupt, and I'm just over here just bang.
You're on Copilot. It's the same crap. Has been developing multiple semiconductor fabs in the United States, primarily in Phoenix, Arizona. Here's an overview of their current and planned facilities. First Arizona fab, initially announced in 2020, the facility began producing the 4-nanometer this year. Okay, so January of 2025, so it just opened. Second Arizona fab, construction is underway for a second fab with production of the 2-nanometer chips expected to commence in 2028. I wonder if AMD gets any of this. I'm going to ask it that. The third fab in Arizona again, in April 2024, TSMC announced plans for a third fab in Arizona to meet strong customer demand, leveraging the most advanced semiconductor. Okay, so is AMD getting any of the supply of GPUs that are coming out of the fab that opened, I can spell it, in January of 2025? Let's find out. Let's searching, because I know they were supposed to get, as TSMC's Arizona fab 21 has commenced production manufacturing chips for clients like Apple, AMD. Notably, the facility is producing, here it is, AMD's Ryzen 9000, is that how you say it, Ryzen?
Yeah.
9000 series CPUs TSMC's 4 nanometer class. Regarding GPUs, current reports do not indicate that AMD is sourcing GPU production from TSMC's Arizona facility. AMD's next-gen UNDA GPU architecture is expected to utilize TSMC's 3 nanometer node, with production anticipated to begin in 27. That sucks, bro. Where is AMD making their MI300? Let's find out where they're making it, Joseph. Interesting look here. As of February, the MI300 series primarily produced in Taiwan Semiconductor. Where though? The initial production in Taiwan. Okay. However, the recent operationalization of TSMC's Arizona Fab 21 in January, there is potential for AMD to expand manufacturing of the MI300. So it just contradicted itself. It said there is no plans for Fab 21 to make these MI300s. Then it says over here, however, with recent there is potential for AMD to expand manufacturing of the MI300 to this U.S.-based facility. This move would align with AMD's strategy, diversified supply chain, and increased domestic production. Additionally, the MI300 series employs advanced 3D packaging techniques. Yeah, I remember they have to come from Taiwan for that, which is super interesting in regards to that. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't look like, it's forthcoming. Kind of contradictory information there about whether or not that Fab 21 for TSMC in Arizona is going to make the MI300 and the MI350. We'll definitely keep tabs on that. And if there's any news to update you guys, we will let you know. But yeah, you're going to do your research if you're going to invest in these companies. And we're doing quick research right now, guys, on the show using ChatGPT. But I'll submit to you, ChatGPT is good first source. And then you got to dive in a bit deeper. And what I like about it is it shows you its sources, right? So you can go to the source itself and then, do a bit of a deeper dive. What's everybody talking about? Zero Gravity Zen. Test that on Perplexity. I use it more as a search engine with sources. Shout out, man. That's a good one there. Brendo loves Perplexity as well. What do you got over there, Joseph?
Yeah, I'm just
on your side.
Yeah. Other than what we were just doing research on, I'm looking on this. I'm still holding on to this NVDA trade here. That's the only thing that we got really cooking up. Grok is much better. A lot of people are saying in the chat as well too. So I know you were using Grok the other day. So I'm interested to use it because I don't really use X outside of the office here. So yeah, breaking news. All right, we'll send it over to Adara.
We have Tesla here on watch. Tesla, not really reacting to this story. Let's pull up Uber and Lyft here. We have this headline from Reuters reporting that Tesla has filed an application for a California transportation permit. So, of course, if we have, I guess the implication here is that Teslas will be able to have this transportation. Uber and Lyft, two names that really do rely, of course, on ride-hailing or ride-sharing, dropping to the downside on this with strong volume. LYFT and UBER dropping after Reuters reported that Tesla has filed an application for a permit for transportation in California. Back to you.
Thank you for calling that out, Derek.
Yeah, let's see if this can hold some weight. Yeah, I'm in right where I want to be, right at VWAP. If we break a little bit lower, we'll give this about 50 cents. Not even, that's quite a bit. Probably about 30 cents or so. Sharif, I know you're going to hop in it probably soon.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here right now, man. The break-even point for Tesla, guys, is 290.80 or so. Just a little bit below that 291. It's having trouble with VWAP right now, but it's obviously got higher highs and higher lows. This is the 5-minute here on TSLA. Let's get involved, man. I mean, if we're not, let's see exactly if it wants to hold up at this level. Joseph, 289 would be a great entry for me. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait in the low 289 mid-teens. We're going to throw that out there. If it wants to fill me there, fantastic. If it doesn't and it wants to go upon its merry way, fine. Let's see what the new candle to make a new high is. What's that candle over here? 289.72. That's a current 5-minute candle high. We're printing 53s right now. Zigging and zagging. It's above VWAP but not by that much. Let's see if this one wants to come back down, possibly get me filled. There we go. Now we're filled. So we're going to have to give this one room, obviously. So let's throw at orders in the third of a dollar. There we go. Throw out that order there. We'll see if we can get that filled. That gets filled super quick. Let's go up a little bit higher up here, maybe a bit more of a lofty goal. We're waiting at 60s now. Let's see if we can get something. We're showing 40s over here. It's breaking down now, though. We're long 15s. There it goes, breaking down. Where is the next area of support? Wowzers. That's a big boy move down into that $0.75 area. But zigging and zagging right now, Joseph, a little above 288, or sorry, 289, and a little bit below right now. Let's see if this one wants to pop back off. off. I'm going to get out anything below that 288.50 half dollar, but this one's moving crazy right now. So let's go ahead and put that down there. And boom, we got filled. Okay, great. All right, so the trade's successful.
Oh,
Don't need to put the stop in play. Let's continue to watch this. I'll get back into Tesla here because it's breaking new highs, guys. So Tesla is on one right now. There we go. We're about to take out 290. I'm just keeping an eye on the side chart over here for my other indicators. The high of this candle, guys, on the 5-minute, 289.90, or sorry, 83. We just opened another candle right now. Let's see what comes from this one. Are you still involved in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to this because I'm in TSLA here. So again, that's volatile. I guess it's not as expensive as it used to. So we're coming down in price, and the volatility is starting to sway a little bit. So that's okay. We're going to hop in some TSLL and see if we can get a break here. One thing that we do have to note here, guys, look at this primary trend, and we're going to just draw some basic trend lines here. That's not what we want to draw. We're going to draw an angle because we just got consistent lower. I hate that feature. Okay, here we go. Bang. We're just going to go like this here. So if we can break through that, then there's potentially going to be some more topside. This is just a trend that's been leading all the way through the pre-market, and then now we're just constructing lower highs here, guys. So just keep that in mind. It's going to take some volume. One thing that we are going to know by the volume by time profile is that we have that volume on the 1 minute starting to really pick up. So if we can continue to break out, hopefully that can be sustained, and that's exactly what we're going to need in order for this trade to continue to work. Now, let's get into some NVDA and see what we got cooking up on this one. We're still stuck in this range here, guys. I mean, there's not much we can really do other than the fact to see if that volume steps in, and then we can break through. We can call this the resistance zone, and it's just continuing to slam through it. One thing that I hope doesn't happen is that with this shelf that we got kind of cooking up, is that we just break through it with momentum to the downside, and there's always a possibility of that. So we need to be wary. If we break this trend line here, then we got to get out of Dodge, because I think around south of 126.50, we're going to continue to move in that direction. So it's looking right now. I think if Tesla can catch some momentum and continue, then I think NVDA will as well too. So it's going to be a tougher look in the Meg 7. So. Come over here. Come here, Obi.
Show properly,
Yeah, come over here, Obi.
Amazon. Amazon. Is that for copyright reasons?
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. Everybody bust out their shirt now here, man. So this is what we got going on.
You guys haven't seen Obi trade lately. Obviously, you guys have. He used to trade only Amazon. Yeah. That's why this is like an inside thing, right? Like, there we go. In case you guys haven't seen it, Obi's graduation party tomorrow,
FTX,
and we all
risk
got
management. You know what I mean? Get in here, Katina, man. This is what we do. Get in here, Dara. Where's the Dara too? Get in Dara over in here too. Get Adara over here too, guys. This is what we're looking to do.
Come on, Adara.
Yeah, come on, Adara. Before we need to get a shot too.
No,
don't go anywhere, Katina, man. Everybody get in here. Grab your shirt. Don't run.
The Katina man's
we need you in the picture right now. Everybody stand. So come stand next to us. Come stand right here. Come stand right here, Obi. Get it back in the shot here, Katina man.
Come on, Katina.
Put in the orders.
Throw in those orders.
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right.
The Katina man 70 cents in the money right now, baby.
Someone screenshot that here. Someone screenshot, and that's exactly what we want. Sick picture. There we go. That wasn't that difficult, man. So we're all having fun. Neil, where's yours? Oh, he's not here.
Oh, Neil's
all right.
Not here.
That's all right. Yeah, don't worry about it. He's probably eating the Kit Kat.
Yeah. Tesla's breaking out, guys. Yeah, wow. Tesla's going right now. Okay, here we go. We're breaking out.
We're in that,
above
bro.
290
We're still in that, man.
Katina man, are you long? You're long Uber? The Katina man's long Uber right now. And Nick Dubb was asking me, go to the Katina man screen, because Nick Dubb was asking me, Katina man, about that. Great call out by you. So Uber spiked down, obviously, when we got that Tesla news. Katina man takes that reversion trade back up to the north side. Great trade there, brother. Hope you print up multiple storms. Yeah, well, there's no hope right there. He's $1 in the money, baby. So we're going to hit this. That's what we're going to do right now.
Go NVDA 2. Come on. What is this?
What's happening?
Yeah, what's happening here, man? Yeah, I don't know. That's all right.
All right, guys. Tesla's continuing to go here. We're going to keep an eye out on TSLA. It's above into that 290 area. Having a lot of trouble, though. Let's be fair. It's having trouble even taking 290 on a closing basis. Wicking above, wicking below. It's still negative on the day, and I'll submit to you guys 290.83, 290.80-ish. That is the break-even point on Tesla. That's the border between green and red, so it may act as a level of resistance. That is the closing print. And as you can see, obviously, you don't need to be a chartered market technician to see this gnarly-looking downtrend over here. It's ugly. It's real ugly on Tesla, especially if you're involved in this one like I am in the personal, but we're okay. We're going to hold on to this one for the long term. So that's the situation. What do you got over there, Joseph?
Yeah, okay, yeah, Playmaker poll. We're going to do the Playmaker here. We're going to fill out that data. It is exactly, no.
Is it actually?
No, it's not.
Wow.
No,
the
it's not.
Playmaker poll with 893 votes is actually 50-50 on the dang dog.
Wow.
That's never happened.
Once.
Big Smile,
Once.
Are you in the chat?
Once.
Big, let's see.
All right, let's see. Are we going to go short for the first time? If you haven't voted, just vote short so we can go short for the first time, even though it's probably going to be wrong here. So maybe don't. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we have our state elections today, our provincial elections. I'm just giving American terminology. We are widely expected to have the same dude who's been governing here for like the past, 8 years now, Katina, man? Something like that? Something like that. Feels like forever, yeah. He's likely going to win again. We have something called in our government majority governments, minority and majority. That means if you have a majority government, you have the majority of the seats in parliament, in the House. And if you have that majority of seats, then you can basically pass whatever law you want as long as it jives with the Constitution. It doesn't even have to jive with the Constitution. We have something called a notwithstanding clause, which allows the government to kind of get around the Constitution for a period of 5 years, and then they have to reenact it again. It's called a sunset clause. So it's super interesting here. It's basically the guy who's running. He's running against Donald Trump. He's not even running against the other candidates that are on the ticket with him. Genius. It's kind of like a different strategy that he's trying to employ here. His name is Doug Ford, by the way, in case anybody's interested in.
Shout out to his goated brother. His brother's a goat. Obviously a goat.
Mayor of Toronto.
Yeah, he was the goat, man. All right, Sharif.
Go ahead.
This is one thing that has never happened before on this show.
What?
The shorts won.
That's insane.
That's insane. The short one.
Dara's pumped about that.
The shorts won. Now we're gonna mark it down short here, guys. Sharif, I need the numbers, my guy.
I'm on it. 593.84.
593.84.
We take profit at 595.84.
Ah, my guy, we're going short.
We're going short.
I told you.
I'm so used to this.
Exactly.
So we're taking profits, Joseph, at 591.84.
Bang.
And then we're stopping out at 594.84.
Bang. 594.84.
Sir.
Bang. Let's do this here, guys.
There he is. Big smiles in the chat, baby.
He won it. Look.
Yeah.
Look,
obviously,
Kyle.
the market's taken.
Spile, look at this. Did you see what I just typed here? Look at it. I'll type it one more time for you here. Let me see. Oh, I can't even spell now.
That's okay.
Bang. Let's go. Short. Big Kyle himself.
Hey,
take it over,
big
Sharif.
smiled one, baby. All right, guys, I'm thinking about going short here on the Cybertruck because it's coming down into the volume-weighted average price, and it's still not breaching this area, Ram. Look at that down trend line. It can't seem to breach it, Katina, man. I mean, it's zigging and zagging at it right now, but I feel like Tesla might be a short off these levels. We haven't been trading these large caps in a hot minute, so your timing and your feel is a little bit off, but this looks interesting here. It comes right into that high that closing print from yesterday, as we mentioned, 290.80-ish, and now it's below VWAP. It tried to hold that VWAP. It's double bottoming here on the one at 288.50, but it's not really giving you either a big move down or a big move up. Very range bound here for TSLA. Let's see if this one wants. It's looking like it might want to choose the south side over here. Come to the dark side, Tesla. All right, so what we're gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't want to trade these large caps, bro. All right, yeah, this is coming down here, Katina, man. It's about to break 288s, and we got a low a day on this monster. Where's the low a day at? Show yourself low a day. 1 second here. Allow me a minute. We have a 280.88 low day, so that's $8 from here. I don't know if we see that again, man. This is supposed to be a good headline, so I don't know. I'm really debating whether or not to get long or short, so I'm going to pack my patience here. I think we're going to go to Adara in a second, so let me know when we're ready to go, Ram. Yeah, go ahead.
Be aware here, we do have FXI on watch and the market on watch. Donald Trump answering questions right now, talking about tariffs again, saying that, once again, there will be an additional 10% tariff on China. Comments he's already made, but just be aware here. Also, literally as I'm speaking, we get breaking news on Amazon. Bloomberg reporting that Amazon is planning to unveil its new Alexa devices in the fall. According to Andy Jassy, this looks like things that were already said that Bloomberg's just re-releasing, but just be aware here, Amazon could be on watch. It looks like Bloomberg's just basically re-released or having this new headline on comments already made by Amazon CEO Andy Jassy. Back to you.
The Katina man's long NVIDIA at these levels, and he's saying that dips are getting bought up. And that does make sense because, well, if you're big money here, you're going to take advantage of the down moves. If your move is to get into NVIDIA or at your position, you're going to be taking advantage of these bad boys. Let's have a look at the chart on NVIDIA right now. We haven't said too much about the monster. Where's NVIDIA at? There it is. Let's have a look over here. So NVIDIA looking awfully bear flaggish at this level, but I get Katina man's point. That 120, 126, 125 and a half over and over and over again, it's being bought up. You can see there's obvious bottom right there. Now we're curling up here, Katina man. So this looks like a rounded bottom destined for that volume weighted average price at 128.50, and you had a topping tail candle there into 128. So good look there. Yeah, this is interesting here on NVDA. I mean, it was a beat everywhere. There wasn't really a whole lot to complain about with the report. Maybe you can complain about gaming a little bit. Some of their other sectors didn't perform as well, but you know, their data center, which is essentially a euphemism for AI, just absolutely killed. 70 some odd % year-over-year growth, which is slowing down, to be fair. Last year on this quarter, we were growing at 200 and some odd %, 260 some odd %. So definitely dropping down into 70 some odd % is a bit of a down move, but the company's maturing. It's growing into kind of growing into itself here. So we can't expect 200-300% growth every single time. So NVIDIA in focus right now, but the new tickers are up, guys. You got Tesla, you got Uber, you got HIMS, and you got Dell. They're all great picks, to be quite honest with you. Dell, Joseph was showing you that. We were talking about the PC sales struggling, especially since the end of the pandemic there. And, well, Joseph, they're also involved in data centers as well. I mean, like their SMCI's competitor. Okay. But that was interesting as well because we saw a bit of a slowdown there after DeepSeek. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do here with Tesla. I'm thinking about going short again. What are you looking at over there?
Yeah, I'm long Tesla right now, right at VWAP.
Freaking kidding me.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll hold on to this here. We're still sitting in this NVDA from 126.10. Nice. We're about to punch 128.10, so hopefully we can get a couple bucks on that one. And that's exactly what we will be looking for. I still got about half the position on there, so I need a larger move to kind of just gain some ground back. VWAP will be one of the primary targets, so that's around 128.5. But as of right now, it's not looking too good. Gaurav and I in the chat are talking about just the consolidation in the broader market, see what's going on. And I think what we're on to here is if we're going to punch through VWAP, we're going to need that volume and that momentum to really step in here. And I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen at this point, maybe around 2 o'clock or so. But one thing that we do have to note is just that this kind of wedge, this descending triangle that we're forming, so we can go like this here, guys, and just build somewhat of a base. Oops, I'll adjust that there in a second. So this is what we want to look at. And just we'll use that as a potential low, and then we have multiple touches from there. So this is just how I'm gauging this from a technical standpoint to see what we can continue to cook up and if we're going to break, right? So price is really starting to compress, and we need to keep that in mind. Which direction is the volume going to step in? And if we decide that we want to break through, either way, you're going to notice that volume on the lower time frames and on the higher time frames also start to kick in. But the one thing that I think is very, very important, as much as NVDA is starting to recover right now, trading around 128, just below it, about 10 cents or so, is that we're going to need the likes of Amazon, Google, Apple, Tesla, and Microsoft to participate in order for this to be really, really strong momentum. And I just don't see Microsoft picking up any steam. I know Sharif was talking about it not too long ago as well, just saying, hey, this thing has done essentially nothing for about a year or so. And yeah, and I agree with that. And from a daily standpoint, we're red on the day as well. So let's zoom in and see what we got up from a 5-minute perspective to see what Katina Man's got cooking up shortly. How is that? What are you in right now, Katina Man? Uber's at 77. All right, let's pull up Uber because we have not looked at that. Okay, pull up. Yeah, pull up. Yeah, all right, so here we go. Breaking through VWAP on the 5-minute time frame. Big engulfing candle right here. We're now starting to recover. We just need to be wary of this. Really nice look there from Katina Man. If we punch through 77 and some of these highs, this thing can go parabolic, Sharif.
All right, we're involved in Tesla at the half dollar. We're 25 pennies out of the money. If this one breaks above that 289.15, I'm going to have to get out. Don't want to give too much back over here. We're already out of money on this one, and it's already moving back into 289, so it does look like it wants to take the volume weighted average price again. So sucks to be me on the wrong side of this trade. Tesla looking like it is taking out VWAP at these levels. Good move back up here for Tesla, but we'll pack our patience until we get stopped out. Yeah, there we go. Now we got stopped out. A bit of a tough trade there. It's okay. We'll look to do a little bit better there as Tesla zigs and zags. Let me have a look over here. Exactly what we did over here. We're still putting in lower highs, though, to be fair. So this could be an interesting trade. No, we're not, actually. Now we're breaking above the previous high. So now we are, yeah, wow. This is an interesting look here on TSLA. Let me just have a look over here. Let me zoom back out into the 5. Yeah, we're still holding that same pattern, though. We really haven't broken above this kind of pattern over here. So let's have a look at what we can do with TSLA. Yeah, still, yeah, I'm going to pack my patience on this one. It hasn't chosen a direction, quite frankly. It moved a little down on the report, then it moved right back up. So I'm not gonna start chasing this one. Let's have a look at the other one that we've been talking about all day, BCG. Where are you, BCG? Allow me a moment. I think I took it off over here. Where did we take it off? I think maybe Tesla was what we were, no. Okay, let's load up BCG on the other screen over here. NVIDIA is going too, by the way, guys. Yeah. Good trade there for you.
We're already $2 in the money.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
Okay, bro. Okay. I see you there. I see you. TSLA in trouble with me, but BCG, yeah, BCG is breaking down. It's right back at that $4 area, well below VWAP. So I'm not gonna try to chase this one below my rule area there, which is the volume weighted average price. Let's have a look at NVDA, see what this one's doing. It's curling up a storm over here. Definitely looking to go, well, I think it already did. It touched that volume weighted average price at 128.70. So we're gonna shout out the Katina Man. We're gonna shout out Joseph. Great trades with you guys right there, man. Definitely should have had eyes on that one. Good call out there. The Katina Man was picking this up at 126. Likewise with Joseph. Joseph's got 126.10. So good look for both of them right now. Bang. All right, so good luck. We'll keep an eye on these bad boys. Just looking at the side chart over here to see if there's any small cap gappers making any moves. It looks like Lemonade might be curling right back up. Show yourself, Lemonade. Sure. There we go. Comes back into that 36.25. Now it's at 35.25. Still putting in lower highs, to be fair. So area crest, and currently this area crest. So if it continues to move up on its merry way, definitely want to get involved with this one. LMND, a big boy on the day. Kahlua. Gotta go. Awesome week, boys. Sharif, Joe, I'll be here to watch midday tomorrow, but probably not trading. See ya. Good luck. Shout out to you, my man. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and thank you for joining us today, and we hope you can join us tomorrow.
Yes.
For another
fantastic show. Another, I think tomorrow might even be a little more steamy, Sharif, because we got a party after, and then we got the NVDA options contracts expiring there, guys. So I think, tomorrow, I think NVDA is going to put in something massive is going to happen because there's a lot of size at that 140 strike price. We're going to talk a little bit about it a little bit more because I'm really fascinated about it. So if you guys have your options chain or anything along those lines, you will see. If you pull it up now, if you go to this Friday's expiration, you're going to see that we have about 134, last time I checked, I'll check it actually right now, 134,000, that's a lot, Sharif, 134,000 options contracts opened on the call side. So that's a lot of potential shares right there, all right? And then we have 82,000 on the put side. So that hasn't grown. The call side has substantially grown. It has almost doubled at this point. So keep that in mind. Come this Friday, something big is going to happen on this expiration cycle, not necessarily at that 140, but something has to happen along those lines of exchanging shares or a lot of contracts being closed. So I think 140 tomorrow is going to be something really important and something we need to keep an eye out on because we can absolutely start ripping if that's the case. And I mentioned put and call walls that wall, the reason why we didn't exceed Paul Wall, the reason why we didn't exceed 140 or 136 yesterday on that earnings report is here. Okay, perfect. This is a perfect time that I can use my new handy tool here, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Exactly.
I'm
All
pumped
right.
about this.
So I'm very pumped about this, guys. So, okay, let's change the color of this first of all. We're gonna put this to black, and then we're gonna throw this one out here.
Okay.
So here we go, and we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. So this is our call. This is going to be our 140 strike right here, guys, okay? So, and we have over 134,000 contracts currently open at this 140 strike price, okay? So what does this tell us? This can potentially tell us that if we want to break through this, there has to be a buyer or an individual participants large enough to grab the liquidity to punch through. If we have the inability to punch through and grab and absorb all this liquidity, this is where the wall format comes into play, okay? And what happens is that it repels. It's the opposite of a magnet. When you turn the magnets around, it repels, okay? And what happens? The price starts to bounce and head lower because there isn't enough liquidity to punch through this amount of contracts and shares. And that is extremely important and something that we need to be able to identify, okay? So that is the thesis. This is our 140 strike price right here. During earnings, we could not punch through it. We could not absorb all this liquidity. So what happened? We just continuously rejected, and that's exactly why we traded to a low of around 125.5 on the session. All right, guys. So there's me using my little handy tool for the first time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, Sharif. And that is exactly how a call and put wall works, my friend.
I like Joseph.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I'm in Peppa Pig again over here. We traded this one, I think, a few weeks ago. PEPG. All right, so I worked my way in here at the $0.25. I'm punching in at highs. This one is showing me a very consistent uptrend. So I'm planning my dollar cost averages over here, DCAs. I'm planning the next one here in the mid-teens at around 16. The first beak wetter I shall seek to take will be at that 30 penny area, and then above that 35. Showing me 28s right now. Let's see if this bad boy wants to continue moving up. 31 high of day. It's up 48%. Not a bad move. 40, almost 50% here as we go into that 30 penny area. Let's see if the bulls can put, okay, so we got the print there. Not bad, not bad. Now we got fours. Let's talk about this one and the details of it. So this has got a 12.3 million share float with about 2.5 million share, 2.5% of the 12.3 million shares borrowed for short. So not really much in the way of a short float there, but a decently small float in general. And that by itself can get this one moving. So what do we got here in terms of trend? Let me show you the side chart over here, and we'll talk about how this one seems to be respecting this uptrend. Now, it doesn't have to stay this way. And if it does, don't be a schmuck like me and punch in at highs. Try to punch in at the lows, right? Somewhere in and around here. Now, this obviously necessitates you to constantly change your orders because the trend line or the moving average or whatever you're getting off or getting off in, it's dynamic, right? It's changing constantly. So that every time a new candle forms, the moving average moves up or down with the new candle that closed there. So keep that in mind. I want to get in something, as I mentioned, in the 16 area. But I'm probably going to put another little beak wetter there, or not beak wetter, but profit taker, excuse me, into that, I think, 20 penny area. I like it in and around there. So let's go ahead and throw that in right now. I'm going to go ahead. We'll go ahead here and wait at 20. See if we can get something filled in and around 20s. PEPG. It doesn't have a headline, sadly, guys. Looking yesterday to see if this bad boy has a headline. Not much. PepGen is the name of the company. It's about $73.5 million market cap. Clinical stage biotech company engaged in advancing the next gen of, I don't even want to try to say this word, the goal of transforming the treatment of severe neuromuscular and neurologic diseases. I do remember reading that before. So We'll see if we can extract some profitability on this bad boy over here, PEPG. Anything else happening in small cap gapper world? I was looking at Lemonade. I was quite interested actually in getting long on Lemonade right here, Ram. But the thing is, it's still continuing to put in this kind of lower high situation. Now, we do have higher lows, obviously, by the other side of that token. So this does look like to me to be a compression pattern, a bull pennant, so to speak. And how do I know where the price action is going to go? Well, if you believe the textbooks, the bull pennant or the bull flag typically resolves in the direction of the trend. Well, this thing's up 18.5%. I'd say it's fair to assume that the trend is to the upside. So I'd like to get something in here, possibly on LMND, but at a better price. A bit of a pricier name, obviously, in terms of small cap gappers, trading around $37.5, $37.25 right now. So not a bad look there. Let's go back into, though, PEPG, still nothing doing. I only have one print at 30s, 35 didn't get printed, and I'm still looking at planning my DCAs to the downside. Eddie R, don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, brother, I know. It's okay. It's all good there. Thank you, Eddie R. Shout out to you, my man. What else are people talking about there in the chat? Stevenson ATN says SPY break above. Let's have a look at what the SPY is doing since the Playmaker poll is now in effect. Joseph, what were our levels again on the Playmaker?
On the Playmaker, I can pull them up for you right now, my guy.
Because we're at 594.87. We're heading up, Joseph.
594. What do you say, 97?
594.91 now. We're
okay, yeah, we're stopped out, man.
We're stopped out?
Yeah, we're 509 for.
Damn,
yeah,
that was quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
594. We'll
well, it teaches
right now.
the chat never to vote short.
Yeah, never. Yeah, but I knew this one was going to be a little bit tougher. Look there. What time is it? We're going to document this one here. Havana Woody just sent me an interesting DM as well too, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting because he says, "Hey Joe, take a look at SPY," and I'm gonna actually read the post that he sent to me right now because it's actually I find very intriguing. I think it's extremely important for all of us to know. All right, and there's some questions that people in the chat were asking me. How do we have the ability to identify this? Right. So what we're looking at. So the largest single level of puts in over a year for SPY was just opened last week.
Wow.
The crazy part is it expires this Friday. All right. So thank you for that, Havana Woody. And right at that 595 strike price on the put side, we have 93,000 open contracts. All right. Jeez. It's quite a bit. 9.3 million potential shares. Times that by whatever the SPY is, notionally, that's quite a bit of cash, all right? So keep that in mind. So that is very, very intriguing. And what can happen with that is, to be honest with you, it's acting as a specific wall right now. We are hovering around 595 right now. So if those are short puts, then what's going to happen to the market? We're going to bust out the old trusty tool again here real quick. Is if we break, if those are short puts, then the market can go like this, guys, right? It's very interesting. And then someone else, we can go higher, right? Okay, but what someone else also mentioned to me too is, hey, Joe, we have about 134,000 open contracts at 150 on NVDA as well too. But my answer to that is look at the put side. And it doesn't compare, it pales in comparison to what's at 140. And then that's when I was referring to my options term, options pinning. And what can happen when you have a bunch of short calls, right? You want the price to go down, but then you also have a bunch of short puts, which makes you want to go synthetically long. And what does that have? What does that mean? What does that leave you with? It leaves the price stagnant and pinned in a specific area. And that's why at 140, we've had the inability to crack, okay? So I think that is really important to notice and look at both sides of the options chain. But I believe we're going to send it off to Adara.
Keep an eye here on the market as Fed's Hammock speaks here, saying that basically there are good reasons to expect inflation to come down further. That further easing in inflation is going to be far from certain because there is an abundance of upside risks, saying that the inflation easing process thus far has been uneven and has actually slowed down as of late. Fed's Hammock said that the Fed needs to be patient with regards to easing, that they're likely to hold rate steady, quote, for some time, but that this patient policy will allow the Fed to monitor the jobs market. So basically saying that the Fed is going to be slowing down here with these rate cuts just due to the sign that inflation progress has in fact slowed. So it's just reacting to the numbers we're seeing, guys. Back to you.
Very much for that, Adair. Do you want to finish your thought?
Yeah, I pretty much finished it. I mentioned options pinning.
Yep.
When you have both of those, both that size of open interest on both sides of the options chain, then that's where it leaves the price somewhat stagnant and stuck within a range.
All right, guys. I'm involved in PEPG. We're long 11s here. Having DC8 into this, it's showing me 9. It's going to have to hold 2. That's it. That's a line in the sand. If it doesn't hold 2, I'm done, and I lose on the trade. Let's keep an eye out on this one. It's up 44%. A great pattern. It broke trend very clearly there. It broke that upper trend line that we had drawn, and it is now down into the single digits. Not a good look. The best out I have is 30s, and then that's it. That 35 print goes unfilled. So I'm keeping my eye on this one to see if it pops back up. But as I mentioned, anything below that $2 area, I'm gonzino. Now, there does seem to be price action support at 195. So I'm starting to think, should I just move it down a few more pennies into that 194 if it is to spike down below 2? But I don't want to, it's a slippery slope when you do that. So I don't really exactly want to do that. So we'll see exactly what we get there. But the price action is coming down now on Peppa Pig. Dang you, Peppa Pig. Well, I wouldn't stand an ovation for that. I'm out of the money, but all good there. Let's look at ARIS as well. This one's coming into VWAP. This has been a very strong name on the day. Let's flip to the 5 on this one. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see it. Yeah, there we go. Now, this one's been defending 31 over and over and over. It's back at 31, despite the fact that it got to 32. It's a volume-weighted average price. It's an interesting area off which to pick it up. I don't really want to chase this down, though. Kind of has that 32 rejection. Yeah, let's see exactly. If this one wants to defend 31, then we'll talk about this one. But yeah, PEPG gonna stop me out. It's below 2 now, sadly. So yeah, here we go. Look, it's defending 2. Let's see if it pops back up. We're long 11s. We're already 11 pennies out of the money, which is not a good look on this name. HIMS as well. There we go. HIMS is also at VWAP, which is an interesting area. Oops, it's on the New York. My bad. Interesting area here for him, $44. Has been an area defend. I mean, it did breach it over here, but it was quickly able to get above and move actually into that 45.40. So that's another interesting area there. Tesla moving back up aggressively here into that 292. I'm really happy I stopped out. Obviously, I gave some back there with Tesla breaking down against me, but I'm happy I didn't end up adding to the bloodshed because this one is well above. It's $2 and change above my entry there. So TSLA, bit of a positive catalyst for a change the last little while. It's been very negative for Tesla. Looks as if they filed that application out in California to get that self-driving stuff underway, which we knew that they were going to do in California and Texas, Joseph. So it was just a matter of time until we probably got that headline. I'm excited to see what happens with it, man, quite frankly.
I was gonna try to talk to you about it for a little bit, because we know what Waymo's been fully functional in LA in the state of California. So what is it? What kind of parameters is Tesla looking at? Because there's no way it's going to get approved just like that. So what is Tesla going to have to improve in order for it to get approved? And I'm really curious to see how long that process is going to take and what's going to happen throughout it, because you already have autonomy in LA and in California. So what's it going to take for Elon to do the same thing?
Well, that's the question is, I mean, does his association with Donald Trump help move the needle there? Now, my understanding is this is done on a state-by-state level. Like if you apply for licensing in California, you need to get the licensing body or the regulatory body in California to give you the nod, not the federal government.
They don't really like Elon in California either, do they?
No, they don't.
He left, right? So.
Well, he's still got the Fairmont plant, but he's trying to definitely de-risk away from.
So is there any form of comparison? Like, have we put Waymo vehicles and the Cybercab vehicles kind of in the same scenario to see which one has performed better?
Well, I mean, there's only one that's performing right now. It's Waymo. Yeah, they're the cyber. Cyber.
But that's what I'm getting at. Has there anything like if you're applying for something, that means you must be ready to put these vehicles on the ground at some point, right?
Yeah,
he's going Austin. So at what point is it like? When are we going to be able to do a full-on comparison? Someone must have done this already.
Well, I don't know though, bro. You can't get your hands on the Cybercab because he's not going to give it to you. It's still in prototype mode. He's probably testing up a storm on that bad boy.
Yeah.
That's all going to be internal. He's not going to let you know anything about what's happening there. But yeah, great question, Joseph. I think one of the things that people are definitely going to be comparing once if the Cybercab is out this year, is the comparison with Waymo. It only stands to reason, right? And I want to see how they do it. Do they make an association with Uber? Do you got to go into the Tesla app in order to call the Cybercab, right? Because the whole networking aspect of it and having a big pool of users, that's going to be important as well, you think, you know? Google obviously has got tons of users. I mean, they could probably utilize their Google subscribers there in some way, some form. I don't think Tesla has quite as well of a user established base, maybe from Grok. I don't know if they can bring that kind of stuff over, if that would create any
I think it would be
conflicts, maybe.
Well, I mean,
no
like
idea.
I guess when you look on the Uber app, a lot of the vehicles are displayed as like Teslas and stuff. You know what?
Yeah, well, people
what I
want
mean?
specific. Sometimes, like you want green vehicles, right?
Yeah,
so you want to call in.
So there you go. That's a positive note. So if he teams up with Uber and Lyft, maybe then I think it'd be a really good.
Can I say something to you though, man? A lot of these people that like the ones that I listen to on podcasts, so maybe not a lot of these people. Some people, I'll say it that way. They're like, you know, when I order an Uber or like a taxi service, they don't want a car with a driver anymore. Because they're like, you know, sometimes they've had a bad day, they're aggressive driving at night.
Or they suck at driving.
They suck at driving. And so some people will actually only want an autonomous vehicle.
Yeah, I think I would go along
I
those
thought it was
What about
crazy.
you? Because then you could like play your own.
I've never been in one.
Yeah, oh yeah. But what would you want? Would you want a driver or an
I'd like to be able to compare.
To compare?
Yeah. Let me see how the autonomous vehicle does. Like, I mean, I've never been inside a Waymo into the in the iPace, right? But I wouldn't mind trying. That's for sure. I'll definitely give that a try. What's going on up there?
What is that now?
We cold as ice?
Cold as ice.
Cold as ice.
Willing to sacrifice. All right, guys, we got a $2 super chat from Jack Daniels. Hey, okay, all right. TSLA chart was up during put call wall lesson. All right.
Here's Paul Wall, bro. Just keep hearing Paul Wall over again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, thank you for that $2 super chat, though, JD himself.
Hey.
There we go. Thank you, my friend. Tesla chart was up. Yeah, when we are slowly starting to climb higher. You see where I'm at, guys. 13.17 is the average price on this during the put call wall lesson. So yeah, let's see if we can continue to climb higher. I think we broke this trend here, and that's what I was pointing out earlier to you guys. Multiple touches. We have now breached that. It's now just to go sit through this retest and then hopefully break through and get into these mid $13 price targets. But once again, thank you, JD, for that lesson.
You ever been in an Uber talking to somebody when you didn't making small talk when you didn't want to necessarily make small talk? They're saying yes. Ram saying. Oh, so you can actually request
you can request.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, Dara, it's in the setting. It's kind of, I don't know. Would you be insulted if you were a driver and someone
requested a sign? Not at all.
If you were the driver, no, it wouldn't bother you.
No.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah, I mean, like, you don't know what the person, they've had a tough day, so you shouldn't take it with offense.
The conversation that I was having with the Uber guy coming from the airport, it's like barbershop conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So running into those once in a blue moon is good. Yeah, you have fun with them, right? It's just.
Oh, well, that's the thing. That's it. Okay, so they were basically stalking Ram. And they know where she lives because they picked her up. So her username on Uber was like the same as her Instagram name. So some of the the Uber drivers, would look her up afterwards on Instagram using her name. And then they'd message her and be like, "Oh, I just dropped you off. I was your Uber driver." That's super cringe. Yeah, that's super cringe. You should report that. That's kind of weird, right? That's unprofessional.
It is unprofessional, but hey.
Let's see what people are saying in the chat there. AR, wait, that Tesla cabs don't make you listen to his speeches. That's hilarious. Yeah, I hope not. Showtime, it's fun when drunk messing with the driver, though. Shout out to Showtime. Kanye East, I took a cab in Vegas and asked the driver if he wanted to jump some Uber drivers together. And he said, "Man, we probably just get beat up." Oh, well, shout out to you, man. Why do you want to beat up on people? What's going on over there? You're in Vegas and you want to fight people? Come on, Kanye, there's other stuff to do. Too busy, you can lose money, right? You can play blackjack. You like blackjack, Joseph?
Of course, man.
Blackjack's
I love blackjack, yeah.
Ready to pay some bills, though, baby.
Go.
New traders, listen up. First month, it's free. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to elite. Analyze, strategize, and capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infant data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. If you're ready to elevate your trading, scan that QR code or check the link in the description. Shout out to the great folks at eSignal. Yeah, Tesla cabs will have the grok to converse with. I mean, come on. I can have grok on my phone, but I get what you guys are saying. Slots are the best odds to win in a casino. Did not know that. I don't usually gamble. You gamble?
Slots? I used to be a gambling man.
Like gambling?
Yeah, like I played a lot of blackjack back in the day.
I love blackjack.
Yeah, I played a lot.
Played
I played a lot
on
of
the computer,
21.
though.
So, yeah. Oh no, I would go to actually like
counting cards?
Yeah, I did. I just did the simple system, like the +1, +2, +1. Yeah,
From
plus
the
one.
movie 21,
Yeah,
right?
but I actually learned it before I even really, I guess, knew about the movie. But it's just like +1, -1, +2, -2, blah, blah, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
I forget how it works, but that was
picture
years
cards,
ago in like 26.
anything above what?
Yeah,
10?
it's like +1 or something.
+1. Then there's the zeros. There's like nothing.
Yeah,
cards.
0 and then
There's
-1.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And I tried it a couple times. Did not work.
No, huh?
No, because you got to be snappy, right? Like you have to be able to go. And then I forget what you're looking for. It's like 17 or something along the. Whenever you add up to 17, if it adds up to 17, then you want to hit. Or I forget the metrics of it. It was like 2017. Yeah.
Like the deck has to get hot. Is that what you're
yeah.
talking
Like
about?
it's in your favor.
Okay.
There was a metric there that was in your favor. But let's see what it does.
All right.
We are going to take a look here at these quantum chips released by these Mag 7 names. We got Amazon's new Ocelot, which seems to be a reference to, the jungle creature, an ocelot. Pretty clever there with AMZN and their Amazon theme. But we also had March Runner 1 come from Microsoft a couple weeks ago. Then Willow announced by Alphabet back in December. So I put together a little bit of a show and tell when it comes to these different quantum names and what they offer, basically how many qubits they use. And Amazon's Ocelot actually used something really cool called cat qubits, apparently based on Schrodinger's cat. You can definitely do more of your own research because I kind of did a cursory read here, but take a look here in X at TTV Research. That's TTV Research. You want to look at this graphic and other cool infographics. Guys, if you ever have any ideas, just tag me in the chat because I'm trying to come up with cool content for you guys every single day. Back to you.
People always love Devin Haney. He's crap.
I don't know why he is.
He's so garbage.
I remember that when someone in the chat said if they want to fall asleep, they'll just watch Devin Haney.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
And I hate his attitude.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's horrible. What are you guys looking at right now, man? I mean, I'm involved in this Peppa Pig. I'm 7 pennies out of the money. It's holding $2, and I'm displeased with it. Show me what you guys are looking at right now. Throw it in the chat, tag Joseph or I. It's been a really interesting day today. We obviously had NVIDIA earnings today. I'm assuming this is not what everybody expected. You beat on the top and bottom line. You guide into an oblivion, and then you're down 3% the next day. But it's not a story we haven't seen. We already saw that same song and dance last time where they beat on the top and bottom line, guided above expectations, only to sell off. And then in the coming weeks and months, or days and months, I should say, days and weeks, I'll get it right, it got bought up again. Neil was letting me know in the chat that anytime he has an Uber conversation, they ask him where he's from, and he mentions Antigua, immediately the conversation goes to cricket.
Oh, yeah? Is that the
Neil,
big
do you,
cricket?
do you play cricket? I haven't played. He's played. He's not good, but he played.
I don't understand the rules of it. Like, I don't get it.
Kind of like baseball. Oh, not that cricket,
Jiminy
Ram.
cricket.
No,
Jiminy
those are Jiminy crickets.
Jiminy
It's very. So there's a bowler, and it's the batsman, right? Batsman and a bowler. Yeah. And like you're basically trying to hit the ball and run and to touch the wicket. And if you can touch the wicket and then come back, I think that's a point. Then you run back.
Yeah,
they run with the bat, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
Why don't you just drop the bat, bro?
I seen them make some.
Oh, you can touch the wicket with the bat? I didn't know that. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, there you go. Well, Ram knows, right?
Over there.
It's a cultural thing, too, right? So a lot of, for sure.
She gave up on the Arabic, though.
Well, yeah, she doesn't practice.
What's up with that?
I'm sorry about that, Ram.
What's up
All
with
right,
that
let's
one,
see what everybody has tagged us in the chat. Charlie Taft's long Tesla at 290. Fantastic look there, my man. Looks like you're 30 pennies in the money. Good look. Cameron Lum, Carvana. Haven't been talking about Vana in a hot minute. Let's have a look at CVNA. Okay, Carvana. Wow, that was a nice down move there. I hope you picked that up off the low. CVNA dipping into that 225, 224.41. Went red, but we went red to green with that higher low. So this looks good. Looks like, you know, more recently, essentially since 11 o'clock, we've been holding above that 234 area. We haven't even gotten down into VWAP. VWAP and yesterday's closing print are awfully close. 233 for VWAP, 232.56 here as the closing print on CVNA. What's the daily look like? Yeah, so that was essentially the earnings. You want to call it a loss. I mean, we popped up essentially to 310, dropped back down the intervening days, but this is still, as you can see, a higher low, and it didn't even come down and test that 200 exponential, which it kind of almost did last time. This thing has been a dang rocket ship, man. I mean, it's been higher highs and higher lows every time you look, and it surprised me to no end. I'll tell you why. Because, well, it's the car business, right? And we saw used cars absolutely get shellacked in terms of their value after the pandemic. They really went down. They were actually deflationary while things were still inflationary. So that's super interesting in that regard, but it looks like it's recovering a little bit here. Rohit Sharma, waiting for HIMS to arrive at VWAP. I think you just missed it, my man, because it's been hanging out at VWAP for a hot minute. We're talking about HIMS. I had a few trades on this bad boy. It's still putting in lower highs, and then it attempted here to make that higher high. But look at that inverse hammer candle topping tail, and right back to the lower high pattern we go. I mean, I don't know if HIMS holds above 44 today. It's definitely setting up for a failure, for a flat bottom break, but the flat bottom break hasn't been forthcoming. You probably got bamboozled if you were looking for it over here, as it did drop about, 50, 60 pennies below the volume weighted average price. But yeah, HIMS holding up. Let me know how you scalp it. If you do scalp it, who was that, Rohit? Let me know what your plan is on that. Good luck for you though, my man. Shout out, let me know how it goes. All right, Peppa Pig. I'm kidding when I say that. PEPG, curling back up here to 205. I'm long 209. Let's see if this bad boy wants to hold up above 2 and then kind of make its way back above the volume weighted average price. I kind of got caught offside with this one. 207 is now showing up on the ask. VWAP is at 209. So VWAP is essentially my price right now. Let's see if this holds up. We've got shares on here, so we'll be able to scalp some out. I had to get myself out of trouble on this one. Not something that I'm proud to do here because this is breaching my rule. I'm adding below VWAP. I would rather just get stopped out, but hey, here I am. Let's see if we can get out of trouble, Joseph.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so someone in the chat has been asking me consistently to check out TSLA, RFID trader. I now hope that you are listening because we are going to go over what you were asking me. Okay, so TSLA. Let's start from scratch, okay? So mind you, this is a derivative of Tesla. What's going on in the options chain is essentially almost irrelevant, okay? So this is now you're looking at a derivative of a derivative, okay? Because that's what options contracts are a derivative. TSLA is a derivative. Now you're saying, hey, Joe, everything is expiring, whatever, the expiration cycle tomorrow, there's about 9,000 open contracts. Okay, well, let's put it this way. On a $13.50, currently what we're trading at around $13, 9,000 open contracts is essentially nothing, okay? It is not a significant amount. But what we want to do here is actually pull up the underlying asset and see what we got going on relative to that same strike. Now, what we see is we have some open interest at the 290, all right, somewhat 12,900, so we'll call it 13,000 on the put side, I should refer to. And then we have about 15,000 at the 300, okay? So I'm assuming those are long puts from 300 that expire tomorrow. Now, if we go up our chain, 310, 15,000 open contracts, most likely short calls, okay? So keep that in mind there. For me, that is not a significant amount of open interest to be like, hey, we are now sitting at a wall. What we want to look at for specific walls, and I'll pull up the picture right now, is that we want to find large amounts of open interest. 15,000, 16,000, 20,000, 30,000 is not significant enough in order for it to be classified as a wall. Now, if the stock price is significantly more expensive, then yeah, we can classify that as a wall. But in this case, it is not. And I'm looking for that picture, which unfortunately, oh, here we are. I'll find it right here for you. And it's not just, unfortunately, it's just not enough, okay, to be like, hey, I don't know why it's doing that. It's frustrating. Here we go. Yeah, embarrassing. But anyways, guys, what I'm getting at is that amount of open interest isn't significant enough. Like, someone can come through and just buy all that stuff up. But when you start getting into the range of 130,000 open contracts, 80,000 open contracts, then that's when you want to start looking at that. But in my opinion, that isn't a substantial amount enough to be like, hey, this is a key level and this can be a key level in Tesla. We know that this name has been significantly weak for the better part of a month now, and we're just going to keep it that way. So when we're looking for put and call walls, look for a definitive amount of open interest that's going to pop out to you, right? Like, when I looked at the options chain on NVDA and I see 97,000, it's like, okay, that's a significant amount, especially when you go up and down the chain, whether it be on the put or the call side, and you're seeing 20,000, 15,000, 30,000. You want to see something that is substantial enough that is eye-popping, and you don't really want to force it. So that is my answer for you on TSLL. You're looking at a derivative of a derivative on the options chain, and that's when you want to go to the underlying asset and then find something that sticks out for you.
All right, man. I'm not proud of this, but we got ourselves out of trouble breaking our rules. I really don't want to advocate this, but I was in trouble here with Peppa Pig. We did add into that $2 area, and I've scalped up a storm into that 15-penny area with a good cost basis right now of 6s. Look, if this comes back down and it's a perfunctory breach of the volume weighted average price, I'm flattening out. I'm not going to sit here and fight with it now that I'm in the money. So if it comes back down to my entry, I'm taking it out break even. So now I'm waiting at 15s. It's showing me some selling here at 14s. Let's see if we can take out the seller at 14s. And then move up along our merry way. Now we're showing 15s on the ask and 14s on the bid. It's going to have to cross, obviously, for me to get printed. So let's see if we can get that print at 15s. There it is. Boom! We get out of trouble. All right, there we go. We're going to take out some more over here. Still holding some shares, but I did get out of trouble there. But again, I don't want to be doing this again. This is why I always say, with these stupid small cap gappers, stick to your dang rules. For this reason, I mean, goodness gracious. So, get it, Adara. I appreciate you finding levity in my misery over here. Girl, I'm kidding. All right, I'm just busting chops. But there we go. We're waiting here. I'm going to wait at 20s now for Peppa Pig. And here's the deal. Look. I don't have to wait until my entry. My entry's at 5s. The volume weighted average price is at 9s. So the deal is this loses 10 and it loses me as a trader. So I'm not taking this anything below 10. We'll let it drop. We'll let it go to the depths of, wherever it came from. So right now I'm waiting at 20s. If we can take out 20s, I'll be a bit more optimistic. But we got a topping tail, ugly topping tail candle, inverse hammer candle right now forming on the 5, Joseph. So keeping an eye on this trade. PEPG. We got 11 minutes left. Yeah, I didn't sesh this morning, eh?
No, eh?
No, I didn't. I was a little lazy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. I was just because I went to sleep late yesterday because we had the market recap show. Yeah. So got into the.
Did you go last night?
To the gym?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did. It was a sick session.
It was good. What'd you crush?
So, can I tell you?
Yeah.
I have an entire chest day that's fly specific. No presses, strictly flies.
Dumbbell fly.
Not just that, but the angle. Okay. Incline flies, flat flies, decline flies, and then you mix up on the machine a little dumbbells here, a little machine here, a little cables here. Right. Yeah, you want to mix up
a full fly, man. You're getting it. You're stretching every fiber in the pectoral there.
Well, it's a point. That's really the point. And did you hear about this study that they were saying that the incline, anything incline, it hits the incline chest way better than flat, but it also hits the flat as good as doing flat. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay,
or the lower part of the chest.
So incline, no. So the incline is, and a lot of people say that. It's like if you're gonna hit bench, you can just hit incline the majority of the time. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So just hit incline,
Yeah,
and that's
literally,
that's what I use. Yeah, that's what I usually do. So I told you I kind of shifted to cals lately, so calisthenics. So I'm just like heavy on the I'm heavy on the dips, heavy on the pull-ups, and heavy on the push-ups here.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that's what I do. So once in a while I'll hit the dumbbells, but for me, like, you know what it is. Like I just checked out when I joined LA Fitness, and that was about 8 years ago. I joined in 2016. Yeah, but I still worked out the condo and everything like that. And me and my one buddy that I worked with, we would just always crush everything. But then just doing that for so long, I'm like, okay, let me switch it up. Let me really shock the muscle and then start getting into some, because we used to crush weighted dips. I was hitting like 2 plates on the weighted dips and everything.
Crazy,
That's a couple of those.
Nice,
we were in good. Yeah, exactly. So so that's what we're doing. We're back into that. We're just doing pull-ups, weighted dips, and push-ups and lots of leg raises. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, because in the summertime, when we go on the run, we're gonna go to the outdoor gym, and then that's when we're gonna crush those pull-ups.
You were doing runs with Yanni last year.
Doing runs with Yannick and everything like that. So yeah, in the summertime, get nice, hot and sweaty, and then go do some
like
workout.
It.
Yeah.
I like the comments coming in here. Calisthenics is awesome. Absolutely.
Dang.
It is really awesome. Let's go. I just work out my forearms for the ladies. Shout out to Let's Go. All right, bro. Shout out. Thank you, Patrick Valley. Appreciate you, my man. Who else we got? I think Joe Options is stronger than Reef.
That's crazy, man.
You see the symmetrical. All right. Jim Bros, T. Batista. Don't skip. Come on, bro. VM Mark. Come on, bro. Come on now.
What do you say?
Stretching the fiber in the pectoral is the way, says Demetrius. Don't skip leg day, says Mike Simmons. Never, bro. Never, absolutely. You can't skip leg day, especially for men, because it's very hormone regulating. The quad.
Oh, I did do some leg raises yesterday, because I mentioned I had a little bit of a knee injury in hockey, so I wanted to just strengthen it back up. So.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, be careful what you type. He will read it without pre-reading. I try to pre-read nowadays, right? Like, because Big Spile is such a liability, and he always got me in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the situation. All right, guys, I got out there of PEPG, as it did do an ugly looking topping tail candle on the 5. Let me just show you what I was looking at. This is why I got out. This one just didn't scream to me continuity. But look, I've mentioned this before. These topping tail candles are not operative on these small cap gappers, but I was already in trouble with it. I didn't want to, continue to nurse it. We're going to Adair at the big desk.
Keep an eye on X here. That's U.S. Steel. Semaphore reporting that apparently a number of meetings have occurred here about the U.S. Steel and Nippon deal in the past 48 hours with both participants and hangers-on. So basically, I guess some people of various degrees of stature are talking about the deal between Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel. In case you missed it, for the last, I think, year or so, Nippon Steel has been trying to acquire X for roughly $14 billion, but this deal has been blocked initially by President Joe Biden at the time. Now, current President Donald Trump expressing not a lot of interest in letting this deal through as well. But apparently these meetings are happening, and activist investor Ancora actually met with the company this morning as well. So X here getting some activist investment as ongoing talks occur as to the status of its possible acquisition by Nippon Steel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hope you guys had a great day. Back to you.
Yeah.
The future ticker, of course, of Twitter. No, kidding. Guys, let's cover Riley. Bruh, you there with the Chitrafon name in the chat. Chill. Don't spam. But I'm going to cover it for you. But if you spam again, you're going to get suspended for a minute. Joseph was already going to suspend you. I had to hold him back.
Yeah, he legit told me to chill. It wasn't going to be for a minute. It was going to be for the full duration.
There you go.
I'm not easy. I'm a tough cookie, man.
So he's looking at Riley, Joseph, and this is one that the Katina man had a banger on today. We were trading this one a couple of times. He's cooking up a storm there. I'm getting hungry just looking at that.
Yeah, same.
But here's the deal. My man, we got a bit of a support level here at $6.60, maybe $6.55. The closing print show more around $6.60. When you lose that level, when you lose a key area of support like that, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when you come back into that area, it acts as resistance. So what I'd be on the lookout for, my man, is a break and take of that 660 level on RILY. You get that 660 level on a closing basis, not just a quick wick up and then a move back down. Wait for the candle to close on whatever time frame you're charting, whether it's a 1, 3, or 5, whatever. Make sure that it's a closing print, and then you can work your way in as along. Now, obviously, you could say, well, hey, man, why would I punch in at highs? To me, it's not really about that. It's not about guessing whether or not it holds up at 6. It's about seeing here what happened. This is a story that took place here on this chart. The story is that we were making lower highs, right, with this 730 area high, and then we kept 720 area high, 710 area high. All the while, this 650 area was holding up until it wasn't. And that's exactly when it happened right there, right at 12:15. So that's the story that took place. So are the buyers who were defending that 650 level, are they still there? We'll have to find out. Here we go. We just took 650, Joseph. 660, excuse me. 650 we already took, but 660 was a level. So 659 right now showing up on the ask, a little bit lower on the bid, about a 4-penny spread, 55s. So this is what I mean. See how it wicked up there? Let it close, let it manifest above that level, and then you can say to yourself, all right, well, the people who are going to sell at this level, are they going to be taking profits here? We'll see. Right now, it is rejecting for the moment. Let's see if it gets above that 660 level, but RILY, not a bad look. So shout out to you. All right. What happened? He got timed out, huh? He got timed out. He wouldn't shut up, would he?
No,
yeah, he kept going on with it. Well, I reviewed it for you, bro. But next time you just got to you got to exercise a bit more etiquette, chat etiquette there. Otherwise, Joseph gets very upset, and so do I, quite frankly. And then you don't even want to mess with Adara. She'll get you. She has no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, you see that? She's like, what? She's like, what? I'm just teasing Adara. You don't even respond to anybody who says anything silly in the chat. Not like us, right? Yeah, so we're continuing to watch Riley right now, guys. Good look up, but definitely having a little bit of trouble there. Joseph, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go over, I know a lot of people in the chat, Salomon Diaz, you're asking about ACHR. We're going to go over that for you. We only got a couple minutes left, but I know a lot of people in the chat have been asking about it. So when you ask kindly, you shall receive.
There it is.
All right, here we go. So Archer Aviation, let me pull it up here and see what we got going on from an overview standpoint as well too, guys. ACHR, Okay, so Archer Aviation is an aerospace company. I guess it's in the name. The company is engaged in designing and developing electrical vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, eVTOLs. Okay, so Sharif loves eVTOLs. Aircraft for using its urban air mobility. Now sitting at a $4.5 billion market cap. Beautiful. All right, from an intraday perspective, not the prettiest, okay? Pre-market, not very liquid. But what we want to do here is zoom out and see what we got going on, okay? Ooh, all right. A bit of a tougher look here, okay? So let's see what, from a percentage metric, off of this previous high here, how much we are specifically down, 31% to where we're currently sitting at, and then about 40% to these current lows. Can we bounce here? Oh, and it sees that I didn't even draw this. So what we have here from a technical standpoint is, as you can see, we were holding this trend line, okay? So Salomon, once you breach that trend line, you're now trading below it, so you're on the backside of this trend here and continuing to move lower. We've put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive red days. Are we going to get a potential bounce in this name? Maybe, but what we got to do is we got to wait for a base to set in or find a next potential level, all right? So for me, the next potential level is going to put us around that $6.30 price target, okay? So that's what we want to hold on to. If you're looking to go long-term or mid-term in this name, I would hold off just for now, wait for some more bottoming signals, and then wait for some relative strength to step in on this name, okay? But let's zoom out and see what we got from an all-time high perspective here, Sharif. And then we froze. Okay, so we'll try this one more time from a daily standpoint. ACHR, and we'll just continue to look at it from a daily standpoint, because I know if I go weekly, it's going to freeze again. But we'll zoom out here, okay, and see what we got cooking up. So yeah, okay, IPO back in 21 here. We got the ice one again showing up. Okay, cold as ice. But here we go. Yeah, again, we just have to wait. I think we just have to be a little bit more patient in this name to look to get involved. If you're looking to allocate into it, then just break it up into fifths, quarters, whatever it may be, tenths. If you're looking to bet 10K into the name, $1,000 at a time, average yourself into it, set a definitive stop loss if it is a medium duration trade, and then just take it from there. Write a trade plan, follow it, and then execute. All right, guys, but it is now 2 o'clock. Send it over.
Joseph,
You're gonna send them off. All right, guys. Tomorrow, I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, an NVDA expiration. I think that's going to be extremely important, considering the amount of open interest at that 140 strike price on the put and the call side. I think it's going to be really interesting in this name. And is it going to relieve some pressure in order for it to appreciate or depreciate? Time will tell. We're going to send it off to the big boys.
Take care, guys.
Bang.
140, 180. That was the discussion in the middle of the day.
What was?
With NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was 180 by